right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight might have a special guest. I know it started off sloppy, but we're going to get our shit together now because Lord knows I'm a professional streamer and I never mess up. Everything is intentional. When I mess around with my gear, it is on purpose, okay? Understand that. That's my story and I'm sticking to it, okay? That's how I do that's how I do things. But anyway, all right, let me get Fun Guy up here. Hopefully this works. Hopefully I'm not... I will have this shit dialed in by next week. I promise you that. I don't care if it takes me all weekend to figure this stuff out. But I will have it dialed in. I know Fun Guy's like this much bigger YouTuber. He's like, why am I going on with this guy? All right. Mr. Fun Guy, can you hear me, sir?
I hear you.
All right, can everybody hear Mr. Fun Guy, the funnest guy around? Give me a little chick.
Check.
Okay.
How's everybody doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How's life doing?
Yeah, so as can be.
That's good. And where are you from without doxing yourself?
UK.
UK. You actually sound like you kind of got a bit of American accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you ever
kind of?
Were you ever from? Did you ever visit America? Were you born here and then moved over there or anything?
No. All of this is me. All me.
Oh, nice. So tell me a little bit how you got involved with Pecan Head and scam. I'm guessing you scambait, right?
Yeah.
How'd you get? So tell me a little bit about your journey and how you ended up like doing all this.
Excuse me. So, my mom was scammed in January 2021.
Sorry to hear that.
By what he thought was ISP, internet service provider. They called her up on a house phone and were like, yeah, there's some charges going on here. We need to cancel these charges. So they connected to a laptop. And my mom, she does like craft stuff. Like she didn't have anything on a laptop. And my son was there at the time. Sounds like a Jim Browning. Jim Browning? This is Jim Browning.
He's a big deal, isn't he? Jim Browning.
Yeah, Jim Browning. So yeah, my son was there at the time, and they were like, "Okay, man, we need to connect to your cell phone." And she was like, "Reeves, give me the phone," and he was like, "Well, I'm playing on it, Grandma." Yeah, she let them access her cell phone. She told them, okay, if you have your grandson there, turn your phone over face down. So she did that, and I guess they went through a phone, and she called me on a different phone, and she was like, hey, I'm on the phone with the ISP, internet service provider. They said that I've been hacked or something. I was like, did they ask you to connect to like to download something? She was like, yeah, I downloaded something to my phone or my phone on my computer, and instantly I just went like to my mom, you silly bitch.
Oh,
they're
no.
they're the one scamming you. I said, turn everything off now. And I literally lived and I love my mom. My mom, we have a really great relationship.
Yeah, I feel the same about mine.
I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And it must have, I live like 5 minutes away. It must have took me 2 minutes to get there. She was still on the phone with these scammers. So I was like, give me the phone. At that point, I'd never heard about scambaiting. Never. I never knew about Jim Brown and never heard of any of this. Oh, one sec. What happened there? Never heard any of this. So I kept the scammer on the line for maybe 15, 20 minutes while my mom rang the bank. And they They did 300 pound Western 300 pound Western Union and 300 pound in Google Play cards.
Damn.
And she was mortified.
Yeah, nobody thinks it's gonna
With it.
happen to them. I guess you know.
Yeah.
Everybody, and then
She was
they
more.
prey on people's like goodwill. You know, like
Yep.
they want you to be a good person so that they can take advantage of you, which makes them even scummier.
Yep.
Go ahead, you can continue.
Definitely. So when she got off the phone with the bank, I kind of cussed out you, right? Not in. I didn't know any other language than English back then, and it was "f you this" and "f you that," and if I can find you, I'm gonna destroy you. And I kind of went on a mission to see what I could do to get back. And I looked on Facebook and all different platforms, and I guess when you kind of start looking on platforms, they start popping up on different platforms that you didn't even ask for. And yeah, one thing it popped up on YouTube, and I was like, "What's this?" And I think it was Trilogy. I think Trilogy were one of the very first ones I came across.
Uh
Um, then I think it was Monopole. Then it was there was a guy, Scambait TV, I think he was called. And then obviously Pierogi and all the others and all that. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into this. I reached out to a few people, and the only one that really came back to me was this great guy, Scambait TV. Unfortunately, he's not doing it now, which is kind of sad. He's moved on to do something else.
So what year was this?
But yeah, 2021.
Okay, so pretty recent, fairly recent, more recent.
Yeah. I started researching and doing all my background stuff. Like, I had a really, really bad computer. Like, I thought when I bought it from Amazon, I thought it was a really good computer. But yeah, I guess after that, I realized once I got in touch with Stream Elements and they did some tests and stuff, they were like, "Your computer is basically a piece of shit."
Yeah, I'm slowly learning. I thought I have two setups. So I have a streaming computer and I have a gaming computer because I do a lot of like VR flying. So I need like a powerful rig. That rig's got like about 5K dumped into it. And then the streaming computer that I use now for all this stuff is like I built it myself. So that's the one I'm having all these issues with. Because of course I built it. It's the first computer I've built myself. So of course like shit's not working on it. Especially when I have to take it apart and add something to it. So that's why we didn't get a chance to stream last night. I'm trying to... I like using a 2-computer setup so that I can look at the camera like more and then the kind of like... Plus when you're VR streaming... Like, it's just too much of a... Even though it's, like, a really nice computer, it's just too much of a workload to stream and play from that same computer. And I'd probably, like, half the life of it if I just did that. And I'm trying to... So I had all these pieces from upgrading the original computer I bought. So I just pretty much Frankensteined a computer together that is now my streaming computer. And it does its job. You know, it's nothing fancy. Like, I don't think I'd put like a 3090 in it or anything like that. Like, there's only like a 3060 in it right now, and it seems to get the job done, you know? But the piece that I bought yesterday which was supposed to be like a capture card, just would not work in the slot. It just was not working. It wasn't giving me a signal, and then all of a sudden, like, it just wouldn't even turn on. So that's why we didn't stream last night. But now I went and returned that, and I got a different capture card that's an external one. So and that seems to be working pretty fine. But it looks like I still have some things to fix audio wise with it. So I appreciate your patience with all that.
Yeah, it sounds like you have it. They're coming out of two different places. It's multiplied.
Well, that's what it sounds like now to you.
No, that's what it sounded like on stream.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have it. It's like if you were playing the same thing through like through like YouTube on, say Google and YouTube on. Maybe you have two things open.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
it's because I kept trying to get the source to start. So eventually, like because here's the problem. I don't know if you use OBS or if you like use like Streamlabs or anything like that, but
No, OBS, yeah, OBS Stream Elements.
yeah, and it's just like if it can't like it's like tying the sources together can be such a pain in the ass because it'll just sometimes it won't find them, and then sometimes it'll delay before it activates certain things, and then it just becomes a whole big mess. So
Yep.
but I'll get it figured out. I thought I had it all set up earlier and it was perfect, but apparently I only had one scene set up perfectly and the rest were not set up at all. So that's why I was like, what the? Like I figured if I tied in all the sources that I wanted the audio to come from, that it would just work in all the channels. But that's not apparently how OBS works. You have to
No.
you have to go scene by scene and change the audio inputs. But
You can copy them over, right?
I think
You can
so.
copy.
I think so, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So, but I was more important in like talking to you tonight than I was in like messing with that. I'll have plenty of time to mess with this over the weekend, and I'm not playing a lot of things. So, and I'm in the channel right now that has everything working. So I'll just stay here, and if I have to change things around, I'll just do it old-fashioned style.
Sweet, yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. So you're a scam baiter. You're a YouTuber too, I hear.
YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, YouTube since I first started my very first call. I think it was actually my grandmother's birthday, 23rd of May, 2021. And I picked that day for that reason, so I would never forget when I first started making these calls. I went live on YouTube that day, not on cam or anything. As I said, I had a really low budget setup, and my very first time I went on cam, I think was, the live was the 31st. I thought the first live was 23rd of May, and then the first time I was on cam was the 31st of May. Well, I know Dinky. Dinky's like the all-seeing eye. Dinky is amazing. Everybody needs a Dinky.
Dinky Toy 63 in the chat. What's up?
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, Dinky has been my eyes and ears for the past 4 years, almost 4 years. Everything I miss, she doesn't miss. Yeah, but if you ever go back to like the beginning of my channel, you will hear my raw Scouse accent. And throughout the years, not really many scammers have said, "Oh, you sound like you're from the UK." Some did pick it up, so I had my own DJ business before I started doing this.
So did I.
So you kind of have to have a kind of sounding professional voice than a rough accent like mine was. So over the years, it's gone from like a rough Scouse accent to like a semi like American. Like my sister and brother are like, "Oh my God, you just said hospital," or like all this rubbish, and they're like, "I'm like, shut up, leave me alone." But they love it. They love it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I've been on YouTube almost 4 years. Twitch, I think almost 2.5 years, 3 years.
Nice. And how many subscribers are you at?
I think I'm at just over 4,000 on YouTube, and I think on Twitch is around 6,000. I think.
Congrats.
Let me check that. Yeah, just under 6,000 followers on Twitch.
So were you like nervous the first time you scam baited?
Oh hell yeah, yeah. I had no idea what to do. A good buddy of mine, well, the whole community, everybody, Chester Draws. He started the same time as me. We both tried to learn together. Um, we we were both trying to figure VMs out, how to make them stealthy, what dialers or what can we use to call these scammers. Chester went his way for maybe a day or two, and I went looking for mine. And the guy that was speaking to, he actually emailed me. I didn't know about Discord, and he was like, "Do you have Discord?" I was like, What's that?" So he came on Discord with me, and he was like, "This is what you need. You need something to call with. You need a VM." I was like, "What's a VM?" So he
Virtual
basically
machine,
told me,
correct?
"Yeah, virtual machine, yeah." So he basically gave me a rough idea of everything I needed. So he said you need like text now, Google Voice. I went looking for them, and you can't get them in the UK. So I was like, damn, okay, what am I gonna do? So I was looking at applications on my phone, uh, and I came across it was like text me up or something. I paid like £50 for like 8,000 call credits. I had to buy a number, something else. And then Chester came back a few days later. That song about me was gay. Thank you for the person. Called people, police false information. I don't even think that's Ray because Ray can't even spell properly, to be honest.
Yeah, we have somebody
Um,
who pretends to be him come in here sometimes.
yeah, I know that's not Ray because that's all probably spelled correctly. And Ray doesn't spell correctly.
There's somebody who
Uh,
is like I think they're like a sleeper agent in our Discord, and they just like
mm,
watch everybody do everything, and then like they'll go and change their name and stuff. It makes for they think they're like messing with us, but honestly, it makes for great content to argue with them or like to have like weird shit like that happen. So thank you, whoever you are. You continuously keep giving us fun things to talk about. So this is a drama channel. What better way to get, me views than to cause drama in my channel? You know what I mean?
yeah, well, I've seen so many posts about Ray and or from, as you know, me and Pecan we're close together. We used to sit here till 3, 4, 5 p.m. A.m. my time, and we'd be working on different things. And
Jazzy Dave's like
Pecan
too
was,
sober to be right.
yeah, yeah. Well, Pecan was passionate. I
Yeah, tell
can't
me a little
remember
bit.
exactly.
Tell me a little bit how you met him.
Yeah, I was just about to say I can't remember exactly how it became across because I think Dinky, me and Dinky were talking about creating a Discord server, and I can't remember. I know there was Pecan, um, a Hank of Lux, and there was another one, Aussie Bates, Aussie Boy, and yeah, I guess people found my channel. We give out the Discord link, and we all just came in, and literally we all just clicked. Me and Pecan, we had a lot in common with our own lives, with our kids. We had a lot in common that way, and it just went on from there. It
Yeah,
went on from there, doing live calls, and just messing about with scammers.
that's awesome. So I don't even. I'm trying to think of how I even. I'm trying to remember like the story of how I even came across Pecan Head.
So probably,
Yeah, I think it was Soul, and then I think because Soul's like I guess my dinky, like she's the one who's always helping me
yeah,
out. But
yeah,
it's always nice to have like one person who just kind of like helps you because it's like that's a lot to like if I didn't have her I'd probably would just let the Discord run rampant and never check it, and then I'd probably just be worrying because it's hard to focus on the content and focus on all the other stuff that comes along with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like part of me is like, all right, I want to be like an artist. I want to be able to make, because my main goal, right, is to create content. And half the reason I even got into the whole scam baiting world is, I mean, I watched Kit Boga, I watched Pierogi before. Who else? There was another guy, like a guy who was like the Russian the Russian scam baiter or whatever.
DVR.
It could be him. I think his name was like, yeah, like you're messing with the Russian scam bait, or I forget. I haven't seen him in a while, but it could be him. You guys probably.
DVR, yeah.
But so I'd watch it, so I knew what scam baiting was and stuff, and I had just started creating videos, and then Savannah drops her video on Pierogi, and I'm like, how can this guy possibly pay attention to everything that's going on in his Discord and pay attention to making videos and pay attention to pleasing everybody in his community and stuff? I was like, there's like, and then like the story just was so terrible. I ended up making that, and then that's I think what kind of initially got me connected with the scam baiting community, and then just from there, like more people tried to do more stuff to go after him, and that was all bullshit too. It was easy because they were just spreading lies, so it was easy to disprove. It was kind of like a good practice run for me for investigative journalism and looking into things and trying to figure out what is true and what isn't, because they were just throwing out tons of lies. So as long as I could figure out a way to prove that was a lie, it was a pretty easy trip for me. The guy Colin was the guy that Orange Hoodie guy, we called him here. And then I got into a little rivalry with him, which was silly because he was like a nobody. But I was like, you know what? I was like dead in the water. I was like, I need to go. I was like, he's spreading lies about Pierogi. I've already defended Pierogi once, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna defend him again. And he was just not very good at covering his tracks. He was terrible. Like he made like an anonymous type video with a panda. And somebody had reverse engineered it and was like, here you go, this is the panda without the voice mod on, and it was literally Collins, and you're like, oh my god, dude, like this story is just getting out of control. I guess they just, because they were used to dealing with Reddit, and I don't know what you know about like Reddit and the drama community, but people on there just spread tons and tons of lies about creators and stuff to try to like, I guess, mess with creators that people dislike or whatever, and it's just super disingenuous. Like, I just did an interview with a friend of mine named Nerd City, who's a pretty big creator, and he's a guy who I've looked up to as a creator for a while before I even ever thought about being a content creator. I was watching his stuff, and he's being slandered like crazy on that friggin' site, and gave me an interview to talk about it, and let me just kind of fanboy out talking to him about like where he came from and shit. Same thing I'm doing with you right now. A little more organized because I was able to do the interview in private, but it's a weird thing, YouTubing, I guess, because in a way you're like entertaining and performing, and I think you probably would understand this like scam baiting, because I'm sure that you get more excited when you have like a good scam baiting call where you can like really fuck with the guy. Is that like when you go into these scam baiting calls, are you like do you have like a plan in place, or you kind of like, do you have any jokes that you want to pull on the guy, or do you kind of just wing it and play it as it goes?
Play it as it goes. So like today, as I've said, the last few Fridays when we've started the stream, we're getting a lot of I think these scammers or these scam bosses are saying to these ones on the floor, listen, it's Friday. If you think someone is fucking with you, hang up the phone. If it doesn't sound genuine, hang up the phone. And this is what we've had a lot over these last couple of Fridays, maybe 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours of my stream today was a lot of hang-ups. It was like, okay, yeah, bye. No, we'll just cancel it, bye. But then I started with Annie. So Annie is she can be very sweet, but she can also be very feisty and kinky. 70, 74, nearly 7. Well, she was 80, 84, and I thought maybe that's a little too old. Me and Limey were like, okay, we'll drop it down 10 years, and we can still play her for another 10 years. We dropped it down to 74. And yeah, that call kind of hit off today. We had that guy on for almost 2 hours, an hour and a half, an hour and 50 minutes. And in the end, he was like, I want to see you on camera. And poor old Danny's like, well, I need to get dressed and I'm naked right now. And he wanted to see me naked. I was like, no, you're not seeing an old lady naked. I need to go and like shave somewhere and put some kinky lingerie on. While he was trying to steal my money out of my PayPal, and he did. He went in and stole just over $600 from my PayPal, and then he tried doing other things, and then he was like, "Okay, well, let's see you on camera." So, yeah, he got the full face of one guy, called him "fuck you, Benchode," and yeah, he kind of hung up after that.
What is that banchode? I know I hear that.
Banchode means like brother. So you have mother chode. So chode means fucker.
Okay.
So you have mother chode, which means mother effer. Banchode is brother fucker, basically. And they don't like it. They don't like it when you can speak their language. They kind of get a little pissed because they're like, "Who taught you this language?" I'm like, "Your mom." But yeah, I like messing with them. Not every day is the same. We can have some really great calls, and I guess it's the same with any beta. You can have really great numbers and great calls one day. They're having great numbers, but not really great calls because they either hang up on you or they're either so boring, and I'm like, oh my god, I just want this guy to just steal some money from me so I can cuss him out. But yeah, it can be different. Some days I might say I'm going to give them the money back. Some days I'll tell them I'm going to keep the money. And then you get threatened with being put behind the bars and
behind the bars. I love. You will be behind the bars. No, not the bars.
You're going behind the bars, or you're going in the goat house. I'm like, oh yeah, go for it.
I'd like
to see that, but by the time you get me in the goat house, I'll be on holiday with all this money.
I like when they say each and everything.
Each and everything.
Everything will be great.
Yep, please do each and everything, and don't touch your mouse. Yep.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, of course. If they tell you not to touch it, you got to touch it, right? That's just the rule. That's just the rule.
And when, you're filling out the CMD, don't click enter. Oh, you have to click enter just to piss them off. But yeah, that's how my journey started. And Pecan, as a brother. Right there from the beginning, and it's these scammers that always say we knew from the beginning that you were messing about. Now I'm finding it hard to say beginning now because I heard that so many times, and I'm like saying to my mom, "Oh yeah, he said from the beginning." I mean, the beginning. But yeah, it's crazy.
I like seeing all the comments from the people that are saying their favorite lines. Master Toothpick says, "Why have you done such a thing?"
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't redeem it. Don't redeem it.
Yep. Do one thing. Piece of pen and pepper. Each and everything. Yeah.
I love that they use the notepad as their way of writing out forms, and you're just like, how am I really the notepad in the in the Word document? That's what you want to write out everything on? I feel bad that because my dad he used to be a pretty sharp guy, but he's kind of getting a little dementia-y, and he just got scammed, and it's crazy because I've told him a million friggin' times that people do this stuff, but he just is gonna do his own thing. He's gotta find out for himself. It's I sometimes you just you can only do so much to try to help somebody, but you can't watch them 24/7 and stay on top of them. And you know, he like I've gone. He's like, "What? My phone's not working." I'm like, "Well, Dad, you've screenshotted like 600 different pictures of websites. Like, why don't you just bookmark them? Why are you taking screenshots of them? Oh, so I can find them again." And I'm like, "What do you?" It's in your history, dude. Like, it's just like little things like that where you're just like, "Oh, what am I gonna do with you, dude?" You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, my dad. See, he's probably my mom when she got scammed. I think she learned from that scam. But my dad, he'll see things advertised on Facebook or advertised somewhere else, and maybe it's something for the car or something for this, and he just goes and puts in his card information and the things that are like one was a dash cam, and it turned up and it was like really, really tiny compared to what he thought it would be.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, you go and buy shit like that, it's your own fault.
Yeah. I mean, it is unfortunate. Sometimes people just, you know, I guess they. Yeah, I think a theory of mine is that like sometimes people are just in these positions where they're so desperate for a win or some kind of good luck to come their way that sometimes like even though they kind of know that it's a scam, they're just kind of going along with it anyway, hoping that maybe it's not, you know. So I do think that there's a mental aspect to a lot of the stuff that happens in scam baiting and people getting scammed that has to do with like people just needing a win in their life, and that's just as, you know, predatory as I think you know, preying on old people who don't know much about tech. You know.
Well, I think it was Kit Boga who said it right. These people who receive these emails and all these other things, they want to see, they want to believe it. They don't want to. They see this email and they think, oh no. They want to believe the truth. Kip Bogus said it on something not so long ago, and he was like, "Yeah, people don't want to see the bad in things, and they call up these emails." And me and Dinky, we've called, I can't remember how many in 6 weeks victims. We're monitoring. I know Pecan showed you some of the stuff behind the scenes, which I didn't. I'd literally gone to bed. If I was there, I would have messaged him like, "Hey, you dipshit, don't be showing stuff like that." But what it is. Yeah, we still look at stuff in the background, and we're still able to call up people and help people, and we educate them. Like I always tell them, if it sounds like an Indian accent, not all Indians are scammers.
I know, 'cause I've had credit card people call me from like legit credit card companies, and I'm always like, "Yeah, I'm sure you want me to make a payment, sir. Kick rocks." And then they're just like, I'm legit, like from the, yeah, I'm sure you are, pal. I'm sure." And then they call you back like 3 days later. "Hi, it's me again. Still trying to get you to make that payment." This is back when I wasn't like, you know, taking care of my credit. So they'd be all over my ass, and I'd be like, "You're a scammer." And I was like, I've seen Pierogi, I've seen Kit Boga. I know what you're up to. You just want my money." And it's like, yeah, we do want your money because you got to pay your credit card, sir, or we're gonna turn it off.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so hard, though. Too is like, you know, like because I know they probably a lot of call centers outsource stuff so they could make cheaper, you know, pay them cheaper, and which that just ends up doing is making people think soon the minute you hear somebody with an Indian accent, it's a scammer.
Yep.
1 second.
TinaCat911 super chatted $19.99. Hugging face emoji.
Yeah, Tina, thank you so much. Tiny Cat, thank you for the dono. Let me get you, girl. Thank you so much. Much appreciation.
Thank you,
This is ad free tonight. All right, no ads because I don't want anybody getting our conversation interrupted. I know a lot of people from Fun Guys community are hanging out here, so I'm not going to subject them to ads. So that we really appreciate when you show the love like that. I think let's jump into Paul now. How so did you get introduced to him through like Pecan's videos or was there
No.
were you ever friends with him at any point? Were you ever cuz
Yeah.
I know you said that you used to watch him when you first got started.
Yeah, I would never say we were friends. We were more scambaiters on the same platform. As I said, Monopole was probably the third one I came across, and I really enjoyed the early stages of his content. The early stages of his content. Then I came across like Scambait Nonsense, Dr. Fell, and Monopole. It's the same. It's kind of the same routine. The way he worked it with him and his co-partner at that time, he would get the scammer on the line. The scammer would do so much in his bank. He would go to the bank, withdraw the money, and then get into a car accident. And then his colleague would then just completely take over everything. And he would just then move on and continue doing the same thing. And it was just the same thing over and over and over again, which was kind of draining. And I watched him, supported him.
Hold on one second, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Sarah.
Conniction Little Super Chatted $4.99. This is for Tina Cat. Red heart emoji.
Yeah, this is for Tina Cat. That's right. She made sure to spelled it so that the AI would say it right. That's so sweet. She's like, I'm gonna change my name because it's obviously Tina Cat, but the voiceover always calls her Tina Cat, so it's pretty funny. I've been calling her Tina Cat too because I personally enjoy it. So thank you so much, Tina Cat. I'll call you Tina just for this one.
Yeah. But yeah, as I say, it was the same old routine with Ray, and as I say, I kind of took my path and left him. And one night, genuinely, I was a member on his YouTube and his Twitch, and I think he went live on YouTube. It was like late for me, maybe 2:30 in the morning. I seen Monopole live, and I was like, okay, let's go in and say hi. And I'm only speculating. He looked sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say if he was drunk or on drugs, but he looked really effed up. He looked really he didn't look right. So there was a lot of people in there, or maybe a few in there within the first 5 minutes, just saying, "Hey Ray, you okay? Is everything okay?" And I jumped in and I was like, "Hey Ray, are you okay?" And he just came out. I think I sent you the video where he just came out with, "Hey, people are saying I'm a pedo. I don't touch kids. I don't like kids."
Holy shit.
And then rambled on for maybe 30 seconds and then just basically told the whole chat to fuck off and then just ended it.
I've seen that video now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of threw me back, and I was like, whoa, not one person said anything about what he said. Everyone was just like, are you okay? You look sick? And I kind of threw me back, and I was like, okay, I'm going to step away from him because I don't like drama. And if people are calling him stuff like that, okay, well, I'm staying away from that shit because I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
I stepped away, and I guess Pecan still kept an eye on him. And Pecan's laptop is probably full of stuff of Ray.
Yeah, it's a damn shame that. Now, have you reached out to anybody who knows Pecan to see if you can retrieve some of that info, or you just kind of?
So So, well, here's the biggest downfall to what Ray has done with the community and with people trying to raise funds or doing some kind of stream to do whatever. So Mrs. P reached out. Well, I was live on that Monday, the 3rd of the 3rd. On that Monday, I was live, and no one wanted to tell me while I was live because they knew what it'd do to me. As soon as I came off live, me and Dinky, we always go through my virtual machines and remove all the connections and everything else. And I got a DM off Chester, and he was like, "Hey, we need you." I was like, "Oh God, what does he want now?" Not what does he want, but okay, we're being summoned. And then he called me and he was like, "No, we need you over in this server right now."
Mm-hmm.
So we went over there and they told me that Pecan had passed away. Uh, and yeah, Pecan, I, I, I don't know whether he thinks he achieved what he wanted to achieve. He achieved. I need to still try and find the DM. I need to find the DM of Pecan. He DM'd me one night and he was like, I'm like, I'm really sick, bro. And he said this for 2 years. He said we knew for 2 years he was sick.
Yeah.
No one really knew the extent. He said, I'm running on 30%. My heart's running on 30% right now. And I'm only still here because of you. And I was like, what do you mean because of me? And he was like, I want to get you to where you need to be with like reverse connections and the other things. And then he said, once I have that done, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And I was like, no, you're not putting that on me. That's bullshit.
That
I
is.
don't care if you get me to where I need to be. I still need you because I'm always going to need you for this, for that, and everything else. And then he did. He got me where we needed to be. And then I think then he kind of focused on Mother Paul. And Pecan wasn't against. Um, Pecan had told me, and I think he said in your live stream, he wasn't against Pecan. Sorry, he wasn't against people raising money for what they believe, or if it's for a cause or something like that. If Ray would have stuck at the $1,600
Mm-hmm.
and not moved anywhere after that, I don't think it would have really bothered Pecan. Pecan wouldn't have gone after him the way he did. So he went from 1,600 to 2,500, then to 6,000, then to 10,000, and then to 16,000. And it was totally crazy. And the stuff that he was coming out with the throat dilation and the hernia, hiatus hernia, whatever it was. Then it was like, okay, So it was Pecan. He said many a time, if he would have stuck at the 1,600, Pecan probably wouldn't have gone after him. And unfortunately, when he passed away, we were all meant to go and meet up in August.
Mm-hmm.
As we did in 2023, we all met up. There was maybe 12, 15 of us. Three of us came over from, two of us from the UK. Dinky came over from Europe. And we spent the week there with Care Bear, Rosa, who's in chat, a few people who are in chat, Limey. And we had such a great time. It was such an amazing time. And we were going to do that again in August. And unfortunately, with funds and we couldn't do it. I know there was a few people who had work commitments, but sadly, because Pecan passing away, I have my own personal appointments this month, and Mrs. Pecan chose the 28th of April to do the celebration of life. Now, my my appointment was the 27th. Wait, it might have been the 27th. Yeah. So there was the 27th, but my appointment was on the 28th. I wouldn't have been able to make it, and I text Mrs. P, and I was like, I'm really sorry, I can't get there. I have an appointment that I can't miss. If I can try and reschedule that appointment somehow, then I'll try. And the messages I got back from Mrs. P is, I really, really need you here. I really need to see you, and it kind of broke my heart that we went. I know I couldn't be there at that time. And unfortunately, Mrs. P had another death,
That poor woman.
which came a week after, which was yeah, I can't say, it's not my place to say. But she kind of DM'd me, and she was like, okay, well, this has happened. We can try and postpone it for a little bit longer if there's a way for you to get over here. And I was like, well, I really don't know what I can do. I'll try. And then it was the community. It was my fungi family that came together, and they were like, why don't you either do a GoFundMe? And I was like, no chance. I'm not doing a GoFundMe.
Yeah, not right after.
Like,
It would just be bad timing. Even though I think that you have like the right in the world to do that for your friend.
yeah.
I can understand
So
why you decided that wasn't.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm definitely not doing a GoFundMe, and they were like, okay, maybe what about some kind of fundraiser? And I said numerous times, no, I don't want to do it. I even said it on my live streams. I don't want to do it. And people said, just swallow your pride. It's not for my personal gain. It's not for my bills. It's not for my rent. I've in the 4 years I've been doing this, I've never asked for anything. I don't ask for donation. I don't ask for, you could gift me subs. I don't ask for that. I don't even say, please hit that like and subscribe. I don't do any of that, and I never have.
Yeah,
If people
I don't do that.
If people like my content, then they'll do that anyway.
Sometimes I don't really remember saying like. I'm sure there's videos out there where I say make sure you subscribe for more or something like that. But I think that
Yeah, there's no harm in that.
I think that it's kind of like you're right. Everybody knows if you like it, most likely you're going to subscribe. But I got to be honest. I think that sometimes a lot of people just like forget to do it too. So sometimes getting that reminder can be helpful. But I mean, you know, it's nice to get it's nice to get a little, because I've always said this to Soul. It's like, it's, if you want to make, like, our goal is right to make a change in a way somehow. I don't know how that's gonna look, but the best way to make change is to be in front of more eyes and to be in front of more ears. And sometimes that takes, a little bit of promotion. Plus, a lot of times this is like a business. And I think you guys, what you guys do, like what I do is entertainment. Like this is entertainment, like I'm not here scambaiting or anything, but what you guys do is like a public service. So I can understand why like the rules would be different for, on a case by case basis. Of like, well, what do you do? It's like, well, I talk about people fucking up in their life. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I guess like and subscribe, and you're like, well, what do you guys do? Well, I try to make sure that people don't lose their life savings. Okay, well, which one's more important? Obviously, the person who's trying to stop people from losing their life savings, not the guy that's talking about people fucking their lives up. But I think that that's cool though, because like the one thing I've always said that I think is pretty neat is that I've managed to somehow have a connection to scam baiting where people can come to my little side of the niche to talk about anything that wouldn't really be like in a scam baiting video. Although I will say PCAM would have been a hell of a drama YouTuber, because the way that he went after fucking Paul was like as good as anybody I've seen go after someone,
Yeah.
So,
and that's probably only like 15% of what Pecan had on him. He did not show everything. There was probably more to come, way more to come. But I guess with Ray, I know Pecan was so angry with what Ray was doing, and it put a stigma on this whole GoFundMe and raising money for whatever. And I know my community were like, "Listen, Mrs. P needs you there. We need to come up with some way to get you over here, and also Dinky, because." As I say, Pecan was more of a brother to me than my own brother. Um, Me and Pecan used to sit on call till near enough. If he hadn't passed out, which most of the time he would do, because he would stay up till for 3 days, learning Linux, Kali Linux, learning Nanocore, learning XWorm, learning code, and then after 3 days, you wouldn't see him for 2 days because he's just wiped out.
Yeah.
Um,
I could tell,
and
and when I got word of it, like I hadn't known him nearly as long as y'all had, but something about like his attitude and you could just tell that this guy cared about this stuff so much. When I found out he passed away, I got incredibly upset about it, and I wasn't expecting to get that upset because I had only just met the guy. But sometimes people come into your life who just really just leave an impact that you can't quite explain. But I feel like you know what? I almost feel like I was sad that I felt like I got cheated out of more time with him. I think that that's really
yeah,
what I got sad about, because like you said, like he was like I had only known him for 2 weeks, but like by the time but in those 2 weeks, like I felt like, you know, we talked so much in those 2 weeks that I was like, I feel like I've known this guy forever, you know?
yeah. He made a big impact on everybody, even whether you knew him 2 weeks or 2 days. He made everyone know how he felt about scammers and everything else. If you watch his earlier videos before Ray and everything, he just he got to the point where his blood pressure was just so high because he would just scream at them. He didn't care about giving them his name, his address. He'd be like, "Come for it, come for me. Here's my name, here's my address. I dare you, come for me."
Yeah.
Uh,
I could definitely see
so
him
well,
being that way. I would have loved it.
yeah, he was.
Does he have scam baiting videos up on his channel?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd have to go. I'll
The
have to go back and watch them because that.
so there's probably quite a few with a lot of different other scam baiters in it. There's me, scam bait nonsense. We all came together and we all did maybe different days or over the years. He Pecan used to record everything. So if we were all in Discord, it'd be recorded because someone might say something funny in Discord, and then he'd turn that into a soundboard. And yeah, it was just a compilation of a lot of different things that he'd put together, and then he'd put it out as a video. Maybe after my premieres, we all kind of roll off back to back on a Sunday. There's like Skeleton Siski, Deo, Dr. Fell, Nonsense, me, and then it'd be Pecan. Um, but the issue I wanted to get at is getting over to Texas. The community came together and they were like, "You need to swallow your pride and do something."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay," and I know 100%. If Pecan was here and said, "Don't you?" I know he would be like, "Don't you freaking dare try and raise money to get over to see me."
Yeah, I feel like.
Um,
Yep.
he, he, he would absolutely hate it, and I know he would hate it. But he's not here. He's not here. Mrs. P, she needs our support.
Hell yeah.
As I say, Pecan was like a brother to me. We want to lay him to rest on this, and we did. We came together. We did. We didn't do a GoFundMe. It was more of a raised a fundraiser. It was all transparent. Everything was there to show everybody what it was for. I did fuck up on So I said we need roughly £3,000. That was to get me and Dinky hotel flights and hotel over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it was going through my PayPal, I didn't have it visible online. He came on. He was like, "Yo, let's get something on screen so people can see everything transparent." I was like, "Yeah, that's what we'll do." And because I did it through Stream Elements, it comes up as dollars. So instead of it being £3,000, it was in $3,000. So we knew. I kind of DM'd Limey one night. I was like, "Bro, can I pick your brain about something?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we spoke about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll just raise it to what it was. So you want £3,000. Stream Elements is saying $3,000. So really, you need $3,885 to reach £3,000." And I was like, "Okay, well, we'll do that." Then the next day, I spoke with Dinky, and Dinky was like, "No, if you do that, people are going to be like, oh, here's another Ray, here's another Mother Paul." And I thought, yeah, true. Okay, I'm not going to be that guy. So I did. I said on stream, yeah, well, listen, this is what I did. I fucked up. I'm not gonna change it. It'll stay that way. And yeah, thankfully to some amazing people who donated, we will be over there now to celebrate the life of Pecan, and to be there with Mrs. P. But I think it was a lot of. So in my mind, I thought, well, I know I'm going to get a shitload of backlash for this, because I knew Pecan wouldn't agree with it. But he's not here, and it's about being there to celebrate his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's being over there with Mrs. P, saying our goodbyes. But I guess I know there's one who's being kind of public about it. But yeah, I can understand people's point of view, but
Yeah, but I mean,
I
this isn't even anything close to what was going on with like Paul. You know, this is like like a friend passing away and his wife being over there, and you guys wanting to go help her and be supportive. I don't. You know, if there was something that I could criticize you for, I would challenge you about it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't just sit here and listen. But this is like, it's everybody's lost somebody, and if you haven't, you will eventually one day.
You know what it was? The timing was all wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After maybe 2 weeks after him doing that, one of them Mother Paul ones, and then him passing. Yeah, the timing was all wrong, totally wrong.
Unfortunately, I think that, it seemed like Pecan held on. I mean, I think it's crazy that you mentioned that he was like, I don't think I think I'm ready to go. Like that's wild that he had that kind of, foreshadowing ability, that he knew that, he was barely hanging on, or he was fighting as hard as he could to hang on.
Yeah. He was, he knew it was coming. He was too proud. I know there was a lot of people that gave him. He'd DM me and he'd be like, "Yo, I'm feeling really bad right now." So I'd call him up and just mess about, joke with him, just to make him laugh, and it kind of get his mind off that.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried all kinds, and I said so many times, just go to the hospital. He was more worried about going to hospital, them doing tests on him, sending him home with the same medication he was on. And it was just like, bro, you're sick. You're really sick. Go to the hospital, get seen to. They may find something totally different than what they did in the first place, and you might live another years, 2 year, 3 year. He was too stubborn to do anything. Yeah, it just he was a great friend and an amazing brother, and
yeah, it's someone in the chat said, it's brothers don't have to be blood. You know, I think a lot of soldiers look at themselves as brothers, and in a way, like you guys were soldiers. In you know, now you weren't shooting guns and stuff, but you were still at war with scammers. You know, and I've always said
Well,
like the more you can
we
get.
did actually shoot guns together as well while we were in Texas, and
Well, there you go.
um,
Put some
yeah,
put some scammers over there.
yeah. And
Uh,
he was a really bad shot as well, to be honest. I think the best one out of all of us who had a really good shot was Dinky. And she shot this paper target straight in the head. Um, but yeah, no matter what, he wasn't blood, but he was my brother. And this certain in particular who DM'd me, he was very disappointed in the fact that I did this fundraiser kind of thing. He DM'd me with a big paragraph of um, uh, you are basically you are Mother Paul. You've done what Mother Paul is. You've done what Mother Paul's done. You're basically scamming your viewers. Um, And yeah, and then yeah, all this big long paragraph, and then it said at the bottom, "Don't bother replying to me because I'm not going to read it." And by the time I hit enter on this, I would have blocked you anyway. So he didn't even give me chance to message him. I was like, and then somebody else who messaged him, I think it was Limey. He turned around to Limey and said, "Why is Fungi going anyway? He's not even family." Um, and I was like, damn, that's low, bro.
Damn. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, just like anything, there's always going to be detractors for things, you know. I personally don't think you should feel any kind of shame. If there was ever a reason to raise money, I think that's one, you know.
Mm, yeah, as I said from the beginning, I didn't want to do it. I did do it, and I wouldn't change that. I will never do it again. And this was something to get me and Dinky. Oh, he also said the people that donated to the cause of getting me and Dinky over there, basically, all you've done is gave Fungi some money to go on a holiday. That's what the money was. That's what he said the money's for.
Who and
For
who
Fungi to go over and have a holiday.
who said this shit?
Eastside Eddie.
Eastside Eddie. What are you saying that for, man? I've talked to you. You're better than that.
Mm-hmm. Eastside, and this Eastside Eddie, he went on when he first started. Me and Pecan, we helped him out with I personally sat here 2, 3, 4 maybe hours helping him out with certain things. Pecan, he would call Pecan about certain issues he was having with his setup. If Pecan didn't know how to do it, he would give me a call, and we sat there helping him out, helping him. And to me, he was a friend that I would help. Anybody that comes to me and says, "Hey, can you help me with this?" If I know how to do it, I will help you. I don't care. I don't want anything from you. The only thing you're going to get from me is my time. And time you can never get back. But I helped this man on numerous occasions. And for him to come at me like that, on that Monday. I think it was Monday stream. When I went live. I was kind of stressed out anyway over different things, and then I seen this DM, and I went live and addressed it, and it broke me, to be honest. It broke me live on stream, and
He said that to you while you were on stream.
no, it was a DM before stream, but because I couldn't reply to him back, I went live to address it and to speak with everyone and let them know that I haven't done this for myself.
Well,
And anybody who thought that I did do that for myself, I apologize.
I'm about to
But
message
yeah,
him. I'm about to message him and be like, "Get your ass on stream right here and explain yourself," because this is. I mean, that's. I don't understand how someone can't figure that out. You know.
maybe, well, as somebody said, Eastside Eddie is in his 70s, I think.
Yeah, he's up there.
Maybe it's a generation thing. He says that he's never taken anything from anybody. But he's been around for all these years. There's no chance from what his career was or whatever. There's no chance he hasn't taken something from somebody or he hasn't asked somebody for something. But maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's an age thing. But as I said, I've never asked for anything in 4 years, and I didn't even want to ask for this. It wasn't for a throat dilation. It wasn't to pay my rent. It wasn't to pay my bills. I do YouTube and Twitch. I try and stream. I try and stream 5 days a week. At most, when I do four, I'm doing at least 6 to 7 hours a day calling scammers, wasting their time, and trying to stop them stealing from real people. As long as they're on the phone with me, they're not on the phone with a real person and stealing from them. Okay, it might just be me and one scammer, and that one scammer's not on with someone else. But there's always 3 or 4 of them, maybe, that probably still are scamming. But we're just trying to make a small, as much of a difference as we can. But yeah, I'm one guy, but the more scam baiters that are doing this, and calling these assholes, it's like you get one it's like, let's say you lose one call center, or you get one call center shut down, 2 more open, and it's so easy for them as well, because if they go into, say, if they think it's a real job, they go into a call center. And they learn this. Maybe they're there a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. It is easy money for them. It really, if they can get, all they need is one victim with $5,000, $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you convert that into rupees, you're talking hundreds of thousands to probably millions of rupees. And it just takes that one big payday for that scammer to go, you know what? I can do this on my own from work. All I need is someone who can send out emails. I'll take the calls. I do all this. It's just so easy for them, and it's a real shame.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Eddie said he'd come on, so we're gonna get to the bottom of this and figure out what the hell's going on. I'm trying to get him set up, but I don't agree with what he said. But I mean, let's hear. I guess it'd be good to hear his perspective and see what
Yeah,
where his
yeah.
position was. You know, personally I disagree with that take, but you know, maybe he's seeing something I guess we're not. I always like to hear people's opinions on certain things, and you know,
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I would like to speak to him as well. Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I guess he's not very used to using Discord voice channels, so I'm trying to.
Oh no, he
teach.
knows how to use Discord.
No, because I'm just trying to show him where to hop into.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring him in like Jerry Springer. Well, it's funny you should mention him because let's bring out Eastside Eddie. You know,
Yeah.
I know it's a sad situation, but sometimes you know you gotta infuse a little humor into situations to try to make things better. All right, looks like Soul's down on the request line, but I'm not bringing her in yet Maybe she's helping someone to get in there. Oh, I appreciate you coming on though, man. I mean, this is definitely can see that this took a toll on you over time.
It's still well. We have a group for celebration of life of Pecan, and Care Bear posted in there the other day about okay, I have mine and Mrs. P's room. We have mine and Mrs. P's room sorted, or the hotel sorted. And me, at that minute, I read that, and my instant reaction was, "What about Pecan?" And then I was about to type that, and then it clicked. I was like, "You." It still kind of hasn't hit me yet. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a good man taken too soon, and
Always the good ones, man. Only the good die young, right? Isn't that what Billy Joel said?
yep. And didn't matter who you were, didn't matter even if he knew you. He always supported everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Supported everybody.
All
And he
right.
was just a lovable guy. He absolutely hated scammers for stealing all this shit, and it shows in most of his videos.
Yep.
Of the passion he had for scammers.
All right.
And
I see Eddie down there. You ready?
yeah.
All right. Let's pull Eddie in. Eddie, can you hear us? Oh, crap. Hang on. I freaking did it in the wrong damn channel. Hang on one second. I'll be back in. Crapola.
Oh, he left.
No, I spaced out and I pulled you in on my gaming computer, which I'm monitoring the stream on, and so it switched my Discord over to there, which I don't have a mic set up on. So I just like, oh crap. So I had to hop out real quick. That'd be weird though if I just put you guys in the voice chat and left. That would be a dick move, huh? All right, there you go. All right, so we were hearing a little bit about some of the comments you've had, Ed. I want to hear from you and just kind of see what where your head was when you're saying. Wait, did he just? Oh wait, he just.
Oh, he
just went back down.
Did he drop out?
No, he's went back down there. All right, you back? Can you hear us, Ed? Why does he keep going down to the stream request line?
Is it kicking him out or something?
It shouldn't be. Are you doing that, Eddie? You were just.
What it is?
Oh, there he is. Okay, there he's talking now. For some reason, he kept going down to the other chat.
All right. Yeah, hold on. I should be okay now.
All right, cool. Well, there he goes.
Maybe not.
There he goes again. Dude, you gotta stay in live stream voice channel. Don't go down.
There's fun guy.
Yeah, you got to stay in this channel, not stream request line. That's where I queue people up to bring them up here.
My screen shows the three of us here.
Yeah, you're on live now, Ed. You're live on the air. Can you hear us?
I think I am in the wrong channel. Let me pop out and come back in correctly. The first problem was that I had Fun Guy blocked and I had to undo that.
Oh, okay.
So let me reconnect.
Okay, sounds good. Ooh.
But even if he has me blocked, I think it doesn't block you in a different server, does it?
If he did it on the whole Discord, maybe it could be an issue. All right, let's try it.
Well, I could ask him in your server and he was there. I don't know.
Are you back? Can you see us now, Eddie?
I now see 3, but I'm getting massive echo like 4 seconds later.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Hold on, I know what's wrong. My dumbass, I had both Twitch and Discord open.
Mm.
All
So
right.
that should fix it.
Cool.
Everybody hears me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you
Yep.
hear us?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so
I'm probably way too loud for you, right?
no, you're fine. I mean,
Okay.
I can always adjust
All
you in my broadcast settings. So
All right. So
you want to
who
tell?
wants to kick off? E.g., you take it because you're the moderator here.
All right. So essentially, I was talking with Fungi about some of the things that, some of the plans for them to go out there and I guess have a celebration of life for Pecan. And
I've been on the whole time. I know everything you said.
okay. All right, cool. So then so basically, I just want to hear your perspective, where you were coming from before Fungi chimes in. I just want to hear uninterrupted, please, Fungi. I know you might want to feel urged to jump in, but let's hear
Yeah,
Eddie,
sure.
Eddie's perspective first, and then I'll let you respond.
Okay. So Pecan touched on how the timing sucked about all of these events happening. Let me make sure everybody understands. Pecan dying sucked out loud. I mean, yes, horrible. That should not have happened to somebody his age. So I get that, and that didn't factor in. And as Pecan said, the timing was horrible, and I just looked at it from the perspective of, how do you rail against somebody for a whole year for fundraising and then do it yourself? I mean, I understand the logic. I understand the sentiment. I understand everybody's kind of hurting about this and all wanting to go to this thing. But if, do the ends really justify the means? That's my point. I mean, I may have a huge expense. Does that justify me robbing a bank? And I don't think it does. So that was what I took as being somewhat aberrant behavior to go after this guy. I don't like Mater Paul either. Let's make that clear. I find the guy loathsome. I find him one of the most dislikable people in the world. Something that half of Discord thinks about me right now. So I get it as far as wanting to attend, but we're not 20-year-old kids here. We should have money stashed for emergencies by a certain age and many years of adulting. So to ask people who are probably struggling themselves to send money in, I don't get it. I just don't get how you even ask.
Do you have a day job, Fungi?
No, scambaiting is my day job now.
Okay, so then you don't.
That's my full-time job, yeah.
Okay, so then you wouldn't have like like somewhere where you would get routinely paychecks from.
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Do you have anything you want to add more, Eddie?
Well, I just one other thing that I want to point out. I did I'm pretty much getting out of this baiting game now. I really want to lean on the educational side. I want to continue to market this free seminar that I give for anybody who will let me do it, to try to protect victims at the boots on the ground level, to tell all these old people to never let anybody connect to your computer and all of that sort of thing. So, and it isn't just this situation, it's watching this whole bait world with all the backstabbing, all the pissing contests, all the dick measuring. My God, I just, why? We're all supposed to be on the same frickin' team here.
Can you give an example of like some other, like maybe some dick measuring that's going on in this in the community?
Well, you know what? One of the big things that everybody rails against with Paul, Mater Paul, I know his name's Ray, how he has his chart about all the money he saved all the victims. And that's just like, we kind of laugh at him for doing it. But Fun Guy then put up a subtext channel on his server bragging about his conquests. So if it's okay for one, it's got to be okay for the other. That's the point about this. Don't piss on one guy for doing it and then do it yourself.
Mine doesn't have anything. Mine doesn't have anything to do with money. Mine doesn't say on my scene. It doesn't say, "Oh, I saved 10,000, 12,000, 8 million." Mine is to show people how many connections has been reported. So how many connections Dinky reports. Dinky does a lot of this. So a lot of this is for recognition of Dinky. Dinky reports all these screen connects, AnyDesks, UltraViewer. She reports all of this. The other thing that's on there is, I can't even remember because I haven't used that scene in a while because we still need to update that. But none of that is about how much money we've saved or how many victims we've saved. That is to show how many people, the connections that have been reported. Because a lot of people think that when you get a screen connect and then you blow that scammer off, most people are like, do you report that? Do you report this AnyDesk? Yeah, everything that comes through that call that me and Dinky here gets reported. There's nothing on there about my dick and your dick about 10,000 or 10 million. It's to show people that these screen connects, AnyDesk, and everything else, they all get reported via Dinky. This is what Dinky does in the background, and showing people and giving people the recognition for Dinky for what she does. It's just one scene. I don't go on camera and say, "Oh, 2025, we said 24. Yeah, I guess it was like 3 million." I did it once, right, to take the piss out of Ray. Ray said in 2023, I think last year, he accidentally went live. He didn't realize he went live. And he was talking to someone about some kind of code or something like that. And he said, "Oh, Pierogi is one of my bestest friends." Back in 2023, we saved people with like $8 million. And then he said the same, 8 million in 2024. He said it's still the same in 2025. There's no proof of any of this. There's no proof that any of this is, like, as Pecan said, $8 million. I don't think even Pierogi has done $8 million or Trilogy Media have done $8 million. With me, it's full transparency. I've been honest with everyone.
So let me ask you this question now. No, Ray keeps bragging about things he does. I get that. We all know it's bullshit. He's not that good to do it. I mean, he'd have more views and more AdSense income if his streams were at least a little bit interesting. So now, that's not to say I myself am a fantastic baiter and everybody should watch me. No, I get on and I troll. That's all I do is troll. People seem to like my droll, dry sense of humor, but I'm just me on that microphone. So, but I want to come back to one point. You said how Ray had no proof over anything he claimed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're really reporting connections. We don't know that. That stuff is all implicit. That all just happens.
I can show you proof. I can show you. Dinky can show you every single email and everything she sends. Just ask for it. It's like Pecan. If you did this, Ray, show us the proof. If you have saved this, show us the proof. We can show you the proof. If
I
that's
mean,
what you
doesn't
want,
everybody
it's a shame.
doesn't everybody report?
It's a shame you blocked Dinky, because Dinky could have shown you all the screenshots that she's had replies back from Ultraviewer or any desk to say thank you. We'll get this flagged and reported. It's a shame you blocked her, because she would have sent you the proof. So does that answer your question about transparency? How do you know, or anybody knows whether we report this? We can show it. We can show it. We've got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide.
My point is, in my mind, in my opinion, let's do that disclaimer. It's only my opinion. I don't believe it even belongs on your server. That's that sort of thing. That's implicit. That's what we do. I mean, you know, it's like turning your own spotlight on you. We know how good you are.
Yeah.
We know how good you are. You don't have to then brag to everybody to tell us how good you are.
We don't. I haven't. Where's that in my server? What are you talking about?
So, Fun Guy, tell us a little bit
That
about
part-
why you posted the, like, what was your like mindset in being like, I'm gonna share this.
Which?
The I guess the connections that you shared that you guys are talking about. Like what? I'm sure there was some.
I have no idea what Eddie's talking about.
You got a section called People Saved.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's Dinky's.
Yeah.
That was Dinky's. Yeah, Dinky wanted to show people that she doesn't put any names in there or anything. She's just letting people know. Yeah, this is what we've done today. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Ask Dinky.
To be fair, Pierogi shows people he saves too.
I would have anticipated that the response was none of my business. It's not my server. I mean,
no. Listen, Eddie. I am totally transparent. Anybody can ask me anything. If I have an answer to give you, I will give you an answer. Dinky just thought it'd be nice for everyone to know that the fact that there's somebody out there protecting these people. And this is how it went, because I know it's hearsay. We could say that, okay, we spoke with Mr. F. Mr. F told us to go and F, and this, that, and the other. But, yeah, as somebody said there, Pierogi and Kip Boga do it. Why can't I do it? As I say, I'm not comparing myself towards anybody. I am me, and I will always be me. I don't care whether I have 4,000 followers, 400,000 followers. I will always be me. Now, for us to we're not showcasing the fact that, oh, look what we did. It's the fact to show people, like, there are genuine people out there. And look, like me and Limey were trying to save somebody. Limey, we sat here till my 5 o'clock in the morning trying to call this lady. Limey actually called her and eventually got hold of her. And Limey was like, ma'am, stop what you're doing. You're being scammed. That email you received. And she was like, no, that email, I got the email. I called them, so it's not a scam. And basically told Limey to fuck off and hung up on him. Yeah. Right? So we're just showing people, like, okay, this is how things can go. Some of them in there might be, okay, I spoke with Mr. F. Mr. F told me to F off. It's like the one Dinky tried calling today, not realizing it was a scam baiter. The scam baiter then actually merged the call with Dinky. So that will go in there as a funny call. But
there is an entertainment aspect to this, though, Eddie. You would agree there, right? There's a bit of an entertainment, because we're all on YouTube. While you guys do it as more of like a community, service. There is you might as well entertain people as you go, right? And I'd imagine, you know, cops do it. When cops bust a drug dealer, they take a whole publicity shot of them standing with the drugs or the guns or whatever it is they found, and it's, you know, I think it's pretty commonplace in society, and that's fine if you're like, I kind of find it distasteful and stuff, but I don't know if there's a set of rules per. Like the way that you may do things may be completely different than the way that Fungi does things. Obviously, Modern Paul does his own fucking thing. We don't have figured quite out what he's up to, but you know, it's I think that it's that's what makes it fun, right? Is that everybody has their own type of shtick that they do, right? Most people don't have the resources that Pierogi or Kipoga has or Trilogy Media. So sometimes, you know, it seems like Dinky, you know, is, and I get this with Soul, who's probably my Dinky. Like they are like a, you know, cheerleader for the channel. They're proud of the person that they're helping out, and when something goes well, they want to share that with people too. And I saw that Dinky had wrote in the chat that she put it all together, so it's not even necessarily Fungi. So it's just like, you know, it's people being excited for, you know, moments that, you know, they're proud of, and I think that that's a nice sentiment. You know, there's so many negative things going on the internet that a little positivity, I think, can do a little good. Now I understand. Like, how old are you, Fungi? Without like, you know,
43.
Okay, so there's a pretty decent generational gap there, and I'm sure that, you know, I've spoken with you, Eddie. You know, you've been through a lot, and I could understand why your outlook on the world would be like a little would be much different in the way that Fungi would look at the world, because you guys have had completely different life experiences.
Maybe I would say maybe dated.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, we raised different.
We never dated. No.
No, I mean,
That'd be quite a twist.
My certain look on things to the way you look on things. Maybe the age generation, maybe out of date kind of thing. But
Well, you are younger.
Matter.
You are younger than my children, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, dated is one way to look at it. I would say jaded factors in too. I mean, you know, there's things I don't want to get too open and explicit about, but for some things that have happened during my lifetime, death doesn't affect me, because I'm probably going to be the next one leaving Discord. I mean, not leaving the Discord, but leaving the world and not being able to be in Discord. I'm old.
Well, let's not
and I get it.
Put that out in the world.
And even in my, yeah, well, you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I get it. I'm
closer to the finish line than I am to the start. How's that?
Yeah, I get it.
So, and it wasn't. I don't know how to word this. It wasn't any intention to come off like I didn't care that that PCAM passed. Not that at all. But I mean,
yeah, no one
I
said
think
that.
when you and I talked, I think I mentioned like something that happened a mere like 60 feet away from me when I was in a different part of the world.
Yeah,
so
and I can understand.
To that point, it doesn't really. I'm in great touch with human mortality. Put it that way. So there's that, and there's the aspect of the financial stuff. One thing that I want to point out about why I find anything like that so distasteful. I remember maybe 18 months ago, I was watching one of the big bait streams, and these guys we put up a wish list for things that they wanted. And one of the things that they wanted was a Rodecaster console. And they asked their fans to buy it for them. They needed new microphones. They asked their fans to buy it for them. One of the people involved with that stream has a net worth of over $5 million from a previous career. And this worm is asking his people to give him money.
I can
And
understand
as I
that.
started paying attention to that stuff, I've noticed how many people are doing it. And I've just really kind of had enough. And
Well, you could agree that Fun Guy
mean-
does not have the funds that that guy asking for the Roadcaster mic probably has, correct?
sure,
And would you say?
I agree with that.
And you could probably see like why he'd want to be there, and you know, and I totally understand like the whole jaded aspect of this. Like I can easily see where you're coming from too, Eddie. And especially right after the whole Mod or Paul thing happened, like the timing I think probably put it even more sour taste in the mouth. But I mean, we can all agree that this is a completely different situation than what Mod or Paul was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. The end desire for the needing the money is very different. The concept of asking for money from people is what, again, disclaimer, my opinion, what I find distasteful. I've never done it. There's been some recent local publicity, and one of the things led some people to see my YouTube channel, which has an email address in it, and 2 people emailed me, hey, we love what you're doing with these scammers. We'd like to send you $100 to help you maybe upkeep your equipment and all that kind of stuff. And I told them both, no, thank you. I don't really need your money. I take care of my own stuff. I don't accept things like that. And that was the last that I heard of it. But that's just how I handled it.
Yeah.
That's
So-
just how I handled it.
So put yourself, take maybe 30, 40 years off your age, and come back to maybe my age, and rethink that idea. Do you still think you would still turn that down? And not forgetting, right? I'm a single dad. I do YouTube and Twitch. That pays my bills. You said about having like a redundancy fund. Yeah, I have a redundancy fund that if my car breaks down, if my son needs something, if something goes wrong and I have emergency funds, and this is my full-time job. This pays my bills. I don't say, okay, I'm not like Ray where okay, well, I need somebody to do that. I need this. I don't need anyone to do anything for me. YouTube and Twitch pays my bills. And anything on top of that is a bonus. I don't ask for anything. I guess I think somebody said in chat, I guess you didn't really know me at all, considering the amount of times I sat on call with you and helped you out with things, and everything else. For you to compare me as on the same level as Ray, that really, really affected me. Considering the amount of time we'd spent helping you and everything else. Okay, yeah, it probably wasn't needed. It wasn't needed for me to be there. But have you even text Mrs. P or even DM Mrs. P on Discord to see how she feels, or anything like that?
I have not, because I don't know her.
You knew them enough to send them a CPAP machine.
Well, yeah, that was just to try and help him. That was to see if that would help ease his breathing problems while he tried to sleep.
Yeah,
But
I think that was a nice gesture.
Again, that was no big thing to me. I mean, here, let me see if this will help this guy.
I think you
Yeah,
both are coming from a position of wanting to do good and help. I think there's just honestly, I think a big thing is like the way that me and Fungi were raised, could probably compared to the way that you and your experiences. We've never had. Well, at least I don't know. Maybe I'm only speaking for myself, but I've never had to go and fight a war. But our generations before us all had to go do that. They didn't have like a draft for the war for what's it called? The Iraqi war, or the war in Afghanistan. So
Yeah, the Middle East wars. Yeah.
but your parents had to go to World War II, and then we had the Korean War, and then of course Vietnam, and then those were all wars that people pretty much were kind of forced to go do. And I can understand why you were raised in a much different situation than Fungi, and which, by the way, Eddie, I gotta applaud you for somebody who's so old. You're pretty good with tech, because for the majority of your life you weren't really raised with a lot of it, and the stuff that you were raised wasn't really a whole lot compared to what we got now. But you can understand like why there might be those different perspectives between our upbringing, where we, like guys like me and Fungi, have been around watching people younger than us all make buttloads of money on YouTube, and you think to yourself, maybe I could take a crack at it. And unfortunately, that's part of the deal. Is if people want to help you out, they can help you out. And if you don't want to take that, help, that's completely your right to do. But at the same time, this isn't like, like with Ray, he's literally messaging people being like, give me money, I don't think I think there was Fungi's, it seems like, was just kind of like, hey, I'd like to go do this if I can. If you guys want to help, you can do it. And it seems like that they rallied around him and wanted to make that a thing for him. And that's the right of the people who follow him too. It's not like he did it under any kind of deception, or he was telling them he has health issues or anything, like, trying to guilt them into doing. And I think it was just something that people wanted to do to help. And, but it, with that said, I can understand your position too. It at the time, that I don't think that you probably would have said what you said if maybe months had gone past and then that happened, and then that, I don't feel like you'd probably feel the same way. But I guess because it was always so fresh in everyone's head that it was an easy comparison to make. And in some ways, you make complete sense, and I feel like many people would feel that way too. But at the same time, like, Fungi's relationship with Pecan wasn't the same as other people's relationship with Pecan, and he knows his wife, and I'm sure he was concerned for her. And I don't think that it would be like fair to consider that like a holiday, because the last thing I'm sure he wanted to do was go on a trip to go bury a friend of his. So
yeah, it would have been totally different if the August trip that everyone into Discord, and we were like, okay, we're gonna pick a date, which was gonna suit my son, because my son absolutely loved Pecan. They would DM when we went to Texas, September 2023. Pecan gave me a suitcase full of Legos, toys to bring home, and Reeves was so thankful. And when we talked about going back there again, we were going to go back again in 2024, but because I know there was a lot of people that couldn't do 2024, we thought we'd do 2025. And then we came and we all talked about, we kind of picked August, and then it came to the realization, we're like, okay, some of us still, like Limey works, Dinky works. It kind of, people didn't have the money, and it would have been totally different if I would have gone, okay, so right, we've all planned to go to Texas in August. Unfortunately, I can't go because I can't afford it. This is just a meetup with the Fungi family or whatever else. Can can you all like donate to me to go over and see? That would have been a holiday. This is not a holiday. Anybody who would consider me or anybody in the family, the fungi family, whether you're blood or you're not, to be considered that this is a holiday, to go and lay somebody to rest, somebody who you knew for 4 years, that you were on call with near enough every single night, plotting different things about scammers and coming up with videos and taking websites down and everything else. Anybody who thought that, or anybody who still think that, to raise this money is up for a holiday, that's pretty low. Because this certainly is not no fucking holiday for me. Trust me.
Your response, Eddie?
Well, I wanna make sure that I go on record with this right now. Fun guy, you've referenced several times how much you helped me as I was learning how to make all these moving pieces work together.
Yep.
I will never deny how huge of an influence you were on me. Never. You spent a good amount of time teaching me aspects of computing and computers that I didn't know, all of that stuff. And I really did appreciate that, and I still appreciate it. Even though I'm getting out of the game, I don't have to give the knowledge back. I'll always know how to do everything I learned how to do. That being said, this whole perspective and point of view that I have is against the act, not against you. It's against the act of taking money from people. Like E.G. said, I'm of a generation that when I grew up, I didn't have much. My father, my mother, they were both raised in the Depression in 1912, 20. My father was born in 1917. So they learned a different depth of respect for what money you do have. And I still, to this day, I don't throw anything away because I was taught that for my whole life. Here's a really stupid example for you, just to make this point. I broke a shoelace about a month ago on one of my tennis shoes. So I went out and I bought another pair. When I took the old ones out to put the new ones in, I kept that old full shoelace because someday I'm going to have to tie something up and I'm going to need something like a big sturdy shoelace to do it. So somewhere around this mechanical and engineering level hell that I live in with all this junk, there's a shoelace running around. If I need to hang a mic, I got a good sturdy shoelace to do it from. People are raised the way they're raised. You can't undo. You can't unring a bell. So I'm always going to look at things that way. Now, you make a good point that had this all been August, not right on the tails of loud verbal assailing of that jackass for his, I mean, nobody's even sure he's got these medical ailments he claims he has. Nobody's even sure he's quoting what it's going to cost to get them fixed. Nobody's sure about any of that. He can say it and call it transparency. I can tell you I'm 6'3" and 240. That could be transparent, except it isn't true. So he is one case, this is another, I get that. But my initial reaction to, I need whatever, what did it work out to, $3,800-ish? My initial reaction to that was, well, then you don't buy the new car, you don't buy the boat, you don't buy that whole wall television, whatever the object of that money is, you just don't do it if you don't have the money. That was my
Yeah.
take on it. That's only my opinion. Again, that's just the way through years and years, 73 of them now, of conditioning to have that perspective about financial matters. That's just the reaction I had to that. And again, it all came down to, you said it perfectly, the timing. Right after hearing what a son of a bitch Mater Paul is, now here we are. I need money to go to America. What? Okay, what? So that's where all of that came from. But it was just the tipping point of other things going on. You know how we're losing that Slick Dialer program I won't mention too much about. That's going to pretty much be the end of me as far as my ability to do this. But all the drama and such is going to be the end of me wanting to continue doing this. I look at this as me walking out on a bad movie rather than stay until the end and being disappointed. So that's my perspective on it. Perhaps I did not respond in the right way. That may not have been fair to you. So for that, I do apologize. But I won't apologize for my perspectives or my opinions. The way I reacted to them, yes. So I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say there. And at that, I'll give you a mic back.
Fun guy.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's when you said about the certain line that's going, and that possibly could be the end of you and your baiting experience or whatever. It's the same with Back Alley, Take a Glass of Water, and many others. They don't have that resource to hand to where they can just turn on something and they can make content. So there's other menus, there's other routes that me and Back Alley we're talking about. There is Microsip, which I would have been more than happy to help people out with. Back Alley can also sort something out like that. And then we were saying, oh, maybe, okay, so all the emails that people send me, I said, I'll send that to Back Alley, I'll send it to Take. And that would probably be more fun, because then it's going to be me, Back Alley, Take, Hammer, and probably the same call center. I'll be baiting them, they'll be trolling them. I'll probably hear in the background, oh, Raj Patel or something like that, and it would be kind of funny. There's not really an end to this, because there's always a solution. And you kind of alienated you that message that you said, that I think it was Monday. When I read that Monday, it was already a bad time for me anyway. And I read that Monday, and then I tried to message you back, and I was blocked. And it did say, by the time you read this, and I've hit enter, you would have been blocked. And it really hit me, the fact that me personally, I thought you were a friend, somebody I helped out, somebody who reached out to me, and somebody I continued to think as a friend. And then I went live. And I had to address that. What you thought me of, what you classed me as, on the same level as Mother Paul. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that what I did not want to do. I speculated many times before that I did not want to do that. And it was the messages from Mrs. P saying that I need you here. There was no, as I said, I do YouTube and Twitch. It pays my bills. There's a creator out there. I'm not going to say his name. I was on call with him, talking He wanted to show me, kind of, this is what he said is, I want to be transparent with you, and show you what's going on. So he did. He was transparent with me, but um, I mentioned about a certain thing that nobody was watching, but me and Pecan did. Um, and he was like, "Well, I want to step back from doing this kind of like putting out this little bit of content, this little bit of content." Excuse me. But I want to grow my. I want this to be my payday. YouTube, I want me is to be my payday. So it's going to be more about content than saving victims. And I was mortified, saying around and said, "So you would rather grow your channel and save that than grow your channel, make money from it, than save victims?" And he said, "Yeah, basically, yeah." And I was like, "Bro, that's fucked up. I don't give a shit." I was like, "Why?" He said, "Well, it's not paying my bills." I said, "It pays my bills, and I have a son. I don't want anything else. I don't ask for anything else. But you would rather grow your channel by putting out different kind of content than saving victims?" It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't think he said that he was done trying to help people. I think he just said he was done with the tech
No,
part.
no, not Eddie. No, not Eddie.
Oh, the other guy. Okay.
This was somebody else.
Okay.
I won't say him because
My
he is a
apologies.
great guy. I think his morals are wrong. Because we started this. It was a thought that I had in 2023. When we came back from Texas. Sorry, we came back from Texas. 2024. The plan is we were still going to scam bait, but what we would love to do is do the reverse connections, monitor scammers, and be able to save victims. And Pecan after that sat there for, it was probably weeks, maybe months, learning Kali Linux, learning code, and learning this program, learning that program. And he was 95% there, apart from being able to read from one computer to another. Now there's an amazing guy out there, Knight. Pecan reached out to Knight. Knight showed him. Boom. And then next day or two, Pecan was like, "Hey, asshole, come and look at this." And ever since then, that's what it's been about. Like watching these scammers, saving these victims. We don't want to. We're trying to get them at the point where we see a phone number before they've gone out to the bank, before they've gone out to get gift cards. We want to stop them before that point, because once they've purchased them gift cards, I don't know if they're redeemable or if they can take them back into the store and say, "Hey, I've just bought like $2,000 worth of gift cards. Can I get my money back?" Well, no, you can't get it back, or whatever. I don't know the procedure that way. Well, if they have them cards and they can't give them back, then they're stuck with $2,000 worth of gift cards. If we can get to them to the point where before they leave the house, we were on. Here's another thing. We were on call, or I was watching somebody. This lady had already gone out. She went into. I'm gonna say, while I was listening, 6 stores. No, sorry, 4 stores. Her debit card cancelled in each of these stores. She went in. You could hear her saying to the scammer, "Okay, I'm going in now. I'm going to put the phone in my pocket." She'd ask where the gift cards were. She'd go and get them, go to the register or the cashier, whatever, and declined, which was a great thing, good thing. But then she'd come out and she'd sit in a car and she was screaming on the phone, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And the scammer in the end just said, "Do you know what, ma'am? Just go to the bank and get the 3,800 out of the bank." Now, there's another great guy who needs recognition, Back Alley Scam Chat. He is really good. Like Pecan. Pecan was a really good researcher. He was really good at dig. Me, I'm not. I will never tell you I will never tell anyone, oh, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. I sit in front of a screen and bait. That's all I do. There's nothing special about what I do. I sit there, I bait them for as long as I can. It's the people like Dinky Toy, Pecan, Back Alley, Limey, other
Me.
people behind me that do all the harder work.
I'm just kidding.
I reached out to Back Alley with an email address and a phone number, and he got me this lady's son within 5 minutes. I called her son. I was like, "Hey, is this your mom?" Yeah. Well, just to let you know, she's being scammed right now, and she's going to her bank. And he was like, "How do you know this?" I explained, and he was like, "Okay." I called him back maybe an hour later, and he said, "Yeah, I got to the bank, and there she was, just about to withdraw the money." He stopped it there and then, and that's what it's about. It's
Let me pull. I want to pull back real quick because I feel like we were getting somewhere specific, and then you gave this story about the scam baiting. So Eastside Eddie, can you tell us a little bit about what went into your decision and like wanting to like block everybody that you kind of was it? Did you feel like you were being turned on, or was it like a way of you just kind of wash your hands or defending yourself from?
No, that was a washing of the hands. I just didn't want to be there anymore. It just suddenly felt like the wrong place for me to be. It was like wife number 3. We were married for 4.5 years, but I knew a year in that it was over. And I tried to hang on for that other 3.5 years, and that was a bad mistake, and I didn't want to make that mistake again. It wasn't just the Fun Guy Media dream activities, any of that stuff. It wasn't even Fun Guy personally. It was, if this behavior of other people is aberrant, why are you repeating it? That was what was in my mind. So when I left the Fun Guy server on Discord, and this is just timelining this a little bit. The next morning was actually, I think it was like early in the morning, my time, 1-ish. There was a message asking me if I left the server, and at that point, I must have been in bed if it was 1 o'clock. So I got up and I went to the computer and I typed the reply. I retyped, knowing that he wouldn't be there. It was, 6 o'clock in the morning his time. So I typed everything in I wanted to say. And that's why I said, by the time you see this, I will already have blocked you. It wasn't anything. You people want to call me a coward, that's fine. I've been called way worse than that.
So you did leave like a message saying why you were leaving?
That I didn't respect what was going on, and
you lost all respect for me. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Did you ever consider reaching out to Fun Guy? Like, did you just immediately tell him like that you were disgusted by what he did, or did you even like try to like reach out and see like, hey, man, like I'm a little concerned about what's happening here, like, and then get his opinion from it, or did you just kind of just be like, yeah, no, I'm out?
Well, it was a matter of whatever was said. My decision was made. I mean, you don't put toothpaste back in the tube either. So.
Yeah, but if you've been friends with this guy for so long, don't you think that you at least should hear him out?
I thought that I saw his whole hand laying there on the table, and what my 2 pair wasn't going to beat his 4 aces. So nothing I was going to say was going to change what was going on. And again, it was the what was going on part that I found aberrant. So that was why I just said, you know what, this whole baiting world, this caste system with the elites on the top looking down at the rest of us. I just didn't want to be there anymore.
Well, don't you think that, I mean, you said it
So-
yourself, you do it because you like helping people. Should it really matter if, there's Pierogi and Kipoga up there chilling? Or does that change the reason why you do it? I mean, at this point, like, I'm in a niche called commentary where I'm surrounded by people who are evil, who set up people to get content. I don't ever bother myself with them. I kind of just do my version of how I think it should be done. And they'll be out there soliciting all kinds of shit and, for donations or whatever. And I mean, I get it because it's hard out there for everybody. So if and obviously how much work goes into this stuff too. So if your care is about scam baiting, even if I'm not, obviously this doesn't seem to be the case, but even if one guy was like, you know what, I need to go, I need to just get away for a little bit. If people are willing to help him, it shouldn't really matter because that's his life and his choices. And if it seems like he went out of his way to help you out a lot. If one decision is enough to make you just cut him off completely, after all the help he's giving you, that just seems to me like you kind of, I don't know, I feel like you washed your hands of him a little too early, or you didn't even give him the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, I understand where you're coming from, but knowing how long you guys have been friends, I feel like it should have took more than that for you to cut off somebody who's been so helpful to you. Does that make sense?
I can understand what you said. I do. I take it at face value and respect that thought. That was more me just walking away from all of this. I haven't done a bait stream since. I won't do another one. The main thing I did was stream once to tell the people that do watch me, and you could probably count them on one hand. I'm not a big timer.
Yeah, and who was one of them that was in there?
I don't know. Were you there?
Me. Well, not yesterday's one, no. But when I wouldn't stream, where would I be? In your stream, supporting you.
It's got to count for something.
True.
It's got to count for something, Eddie. By the way, I just wanted to also say that I admire the fact that you showed up today. I know that you feel like you were walking into the lion's den, but it takes brass balls to get up here
all respect to you. Like, at least you want to come and address this, where Mother Paul hasn't got the balls to come and address any of this shit.
I've invited him plenty too.
I've been in the lion's den before, so.
Yeah, well, me too. As I said, I'm an open book. I'm totally transparent with anybody, and I heard you on your when I went back and watched your thing. Like, one guy was like, put in big letters, "You do not have to." That wasn't me saying, okay, run and go and get your debit card, or go and run and do this. I wanted to make everybody understand that I did not want this. I said from the beginning, I said to Limey, I said to Back Alley, who said, bro, we'll do what we need to do. They were going to do it behind my back, which I wouldn't have appreciated that, because I don't want anybody to do anything for me. I do things for people. So it was kind of like, okay, as somebody said, just suck it up and just you do it. And I kind of like, okay, well, Mrs. P, it was, my heart went out for Mrs. P. I could show you the text messages, but it's a personal text message between me and Mrs. P. And how Limey just said from the beginning, I know, but their personal text messages, I would love to share them with you so you could see uh, the love and how much she wanted me there, and it was like shit. I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I do this? And many people said, just do it. And I did. Okay, I get what Eddie said, but it was totally different circumstances to a holiday or a procedure or for rent, food, or travel expenses, like going to the hospital. Totally different. This is me going, and I understand many people saying, well, you didn't have to be there. No, I don't have to be there, but the last time I seen Pecan was 2020. That was the first and last time. And that was probably the best time of my life. Now, this is going to probably be one of the hardest things of my life, but this is not for Pecan now. Pecan's gone. I'm never going to get Pecan back. I'm never going to be able to be on a call with them again late nights like this. Instead of being on EG, I would have been on with Pecan. But at least I can be there for Mrs. P. And that's what this was about. This wasn't about me or me raising money for me to get over there. It was about being there with Mrs. P. And I understand the timing of this was totally all wrong. Like from Pecan pulling out these videos on Mother Paul, and then is the passing of Pecan and all this happened. But to be put on the same platform as Ray, that really hurt me. Especially coming from somebody I honestly thought was a friend.
Let me ask you something, fun guy.
Yep.
Is there not some point to just write Ray off for the loser he is and act like he doesn't exist? Why the constant harping and railing?
Well, he's got a fair point there to bring it up.
I have not put anything out about Ray. I have not mentioned Ray in my streams. I have not put a video out. Pecan was the one that done all this. He had all of our support doing this. I don't mention him in Discord. I don't call people and just bring up Ray. There's other people I don't like that I don't talk about. I have never once brought up Ray. Pecan was the one that did this. I personally wanted to put a video out, and I know my videos would have been way more professional than Pecan's. The images would have been more professional. The audio, I know EG picked up on the silences. I wouldn't have had any of that shit. If you watch my edits, I sit there this is not to brag. I sit there for 6, 7, 8 hours a day editing a 45-minute video. If I was to do something on Ray, it'd be way more professional than what Pecan did. So when you say, is it not with writing them off and forgetting about them, I've already forgotten about them. I didn't come on here to talk about Ray. I came on here to talk about something else.
And just to defend Fun Guy, Eddie, he's only bringing him up because you had compared him to Fun Guy. So that's
exactly.
So that I don't feel like we would even be talking. Maybe we'd be taking a couple shots at him just because it's fun to do. And would also be piggybacking off the way Pecan did things. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're basically just carrying on Pecan's legacy at this point by sticking it to Modern Paul.
Yeah, but I haven't mentioned Mother Paul apart from EG asking me questions. Did I know Mother Paul? What did I support? Yeah, I did. I supported Ray until he showed his true colors back last year. I think it was early last year, and I stepped away from him. And then I guess Pecan monitored. I don't know what he did, but he monitored. He maybe screen recorded. He has a lot on Ray. But Ray can do what he wants to do. And Pecan's already outlined them flaws. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to mention him. I don't want to give Ray the limelight of any more of this. So when you say about forgetting Ray, I forgot Ray before Pecan even did this. Pecan did this, and we all everybody commented on the videos. I don't go into his streams. I don't do any. I don't troll him. So yeah, when you said, "Can we put Ray behind?" Ray was gone out of my mind years ago. Well, a year ago. Pecan was the one that kept on doing this, and God love him for doing it because it's opened the hell of a lot of people's eyes because they seen Ray as this scambaiter and whatever else. And then, as you know, the money went from whatever to this. And Pecan was not opposed to people raising money or anything like that. It was the fact that he raised it from $1,600 to $2,500 and then upped it to $16,000 for, as you commented as well, we don't know if he has these conditions. We don't know if he's had these procedures. There's been no transparency. There's no document. The only document that we have is what he sent to somebody because this somebody was like, yo, Ray, can you prove that you need this money because Pecan's doing these videos? And all Ray was sent him was a year-old letter to say that he had this hernia issue. Nothing about throat dilation, nothing like that. So when you say, can we like leave Ray out? Yeah, Ray's done. I'm done with Ray. There's nothing I want with Ray. Ray is not on the same level as anybody because the way he is committed or the way he has portrayed himself over these so many months with his loyal people and manipulating them to say that he needs this money for this. I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for Ray. And I'm glad so many people eyes have opened up and realized this shit that's come out. And I'm so glad that Pecan did this. And maybe that was Pecan's end goal. Maybe that was like, okay, I have Fun Guy where I need him. And now I'm going to try and destroy Ray. He's probably done that to probably 90%. And then maybe that's when he's gone, okay, now I'm ready to go.
I've always wanted to send Ray 1 cent on his GoFundMe. Can you do that?
I don't. I don't know.
I think sending him 1 penny would be a bigger slap than even punching him in the face. I mean, so
We could send him a nickel.
But, yeah.
Send him a nickel and go, back in my day, this would have got me an ice cream. I'm sure you're resourceful enough to make it do more than that, Ray. Good luck.
Yeah, I remember a Hershey bar being a nickel, so there's that.
There you go.
You always tell how old somebody is, asking them what the cheapest they ever paid for gas. The answer for me is 27 cents a gallon.
Damn, I'm jealous.
So yeah, I'm an old man. I get it. I know it. But and probably because of my age, because of my life path, I got a little crust on me, and I'm unapologetic for it. But I'll tell you what, Fun Guy, I would be open to you and I talking off of this stream after it's done. You good for that?
Well, I to be honest, I think the damage is already done. To be honest,
So there's no chance of reconciling, Fun Guy. I mean,
I don't think so.
you might not need to be besties after, but you know, maybe you can come
to. You from what you sent me, and I could not reply back to you, and then for me to go on a live stream to address this, and everybody see how much that hurt me. I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's out there if you ever change your mind.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add, Eddie?
No, not really.
Well, let me be the first to say, Eddie, I appreciate you coming on. It takes balls to get up here and, defend yourself. You're obviously 10 times the man that Ray is.
Look at that. Someone's guilty of being
Oh,
total
one second.
badass. Chick Dugs approves this.
Massive shout out to Scambaiting Nonsense.
Scambaiting Nonsense super chatted $2.
Another
Fun
amazing
guy is an
scambaiter.
absolute taint, I mean saint. Heart suit emoji. Rock on gesture emoji.
Thank you. Thank you, Scambait Nonsense. Appreciate you. Fun guy is a taint. Everybody's got one. Well, as I was saying...
I think you mean saint. I don't know what about taint. I
could,
don't know what that is.
You could be a taint saint, which is just somebody with a really nice taint.
Right.
Anyway, Eddie, again, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I know that it's not easy to do, but, I respect your integrity to come up here and defend yourself. Like I said, you're obviously more of a man than Modern Paul will ever be, because I just don't ever see that guy sticking up for himself.
Someone's guilty of being total badass. Chick Dugs
Oh, Maya, you jerk.
Cold as ice scambator super chatted $2.19.
I thought she put 25 cents. I was like, I didn't even know you could chat 25 cents. But it wasn't even her. It was Cold as Ice. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. You see why I thought it was Maya, because her 25 cents is right above Cold as Ice. Thank you, Cold as Ice Scambator. Appreciate you. And no, you are not a jerk, Maya. I take that back immediately. Well, Eddie, if there's nothing else you want to add or any final words,
I'll drop out now. Thanks for having me on to talk it through.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I mean, even though like we didn't come to a happy ending, at least I think that we're leaving here a lot more understanding what's going on. And how sometimes our actions can affect people.
Crew super chatted $5. I always have to follow
All right, night all.
Thank you. Eastside Eddie, everybody. Thank you, Daniel's crew. I appreciate you. Now, I want to say, Eddie, it's not easy to get up here and, regardless of your actions in life or words that you say, just having the courage. You guys just do not want to hear me talk, I swear. You guys just don't want to. It's over. I'm cooked.
$2. It's my new thing, lol.
Thank you, Daniel's crew. I'm pretty sure that you just don't want to hear me speak anymore. I think that's what you're really trying to suggest. But again, as I was saying, Eddie is. It takes courage to get up here, and I think if not for anything else, respect to him for that. We're all human. We all make mistakes. What in God's green earth?
Chick Dugs approves this message.
Sarakonijin little super chatted $1.99. People hugging emoji. It out everyone.
That I think they just don't want me to talk about Eddie. They're just like, no, you're not giving. We refuse to let you say anything nice about him. I respect the guy though for doing that. I'm sorry, I do. That's what I think. So.
Yeah. So I genuinely, honestly, I agree with you. Much respect to him for coming on and saying I wish Ray would come on and defend himself while Pecan was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even while Limey was here, because that guy has so many holes in his stories. They would be picked out, and as Pecan said. Everything Pecan put in his videos is what Ray said. There was no hidden agenda with Pecan. It was everything that Ray had done over these so many months, whatever it was. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why he doesn't come. Because I truly think that Eddie believed what he was... what he was thinking was the right thing. Typically, people who are lying and are misleading people tend to not want to, put their money where their mouth is. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that Eddie really thought that what he was doing was something he believed in. And while we can argue the ethical or the validity of whether or not that's true, like we've
It's not even the fact whether it was true or not. What the fact was is he sent that message to me and then he just blocked me.
yeah.
He didn't. If for this year, I think it's been to come to me and say, "Hey, this is." So it wasn't. I reached out to a few people before I did this. I asked, "Is this the right thing to do?" Even when I'd done it, I still messaged other people, and I was like, "Was that the right thing to do? Was I wrong in doing this?" And every single one of them said, "No, you weren't wrong in doing this." I know there was a couple of wonderful ladies who said, "No, you weren't wrong in doing this," but personally, we don't go to funerals because we would rather see that person as who they were and not what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're not going to a funeral. We're not going to a cremation. This has already happened. The cremation has already happened. This is just to go and celebrate his life and be with Mrs. P. Mrs. P, when we went to Texas in 2023, and I know a few people in chat who were there, Rosa Kibbe, Dinky, Limey, I can't see who else is there. Mrs. P never stopped. She cooked, she cleaned, she made sure everybody had a drink. We even went to her workplace so we could eat, and she served us. And we went to what was that place? This place that we went, I can't remember. Someone will put it in chat. But we even went there, and she still cleaned. She did everything. She was the heart of Pecan, and Pecan was there. It's crazy. And when Pecan passed away, she went back to work straight away, because if she sat there, she would just literally crack up, lose it.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like you have a flat screen TV or something that you bought with the money. You know what I mean? Like, you went and you just spent some time with someone who probably really appreciates it. And I think that that's much different than someone who needs a couple bucks for booze.
Yeah, well, Galveston, Chester said it right, Galveston. Limey said Rundies, which I didn't get to go to, but other people did. But yeah, Mrs. P never stopped. She always made sure everybody had what they needed and everything else. Mrs. P is such a wonderful woman, and lost so much in the last 6 months. Not just Pecan, but something that happened before that, and something that happened after that, which then was the cause of pushing this date backwards. And just to be there, and Mrs. P said, "Do you know what? While you guys are here, I'm going to take this week off." And this is probably going to be the first week Mrs. P's probably had off in years. And we're going to do as much as we can to be there for Mrs. P. It wasn't about raising money for a holiday. It wasn't any of that.
Yeah, and I don't think it was. I personally feel like okay, so there's two ways that this could have played out. One, you don't go, and then you regret not going, and that could haunt you for however long. Or you go, you do what you need to do while you're there, and then you just deal with a couple people bad-mouthing you about the donations thing, which everybody will probably be over in a month. But that you not going would probably live with you for a lot longer than the donation thing. So I think at the end of the day, you made the right choice, and obviously your community's 100% behind you because they helped you get there. So there's no, I don't see anything wrong with it personally. But to be, 100% fair, I also see why Eddie said what he said too. It's not like it's out of nowhere, out of left field. It's not like he was just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. I think that given what was going on at the time, it makes sense why somebody would come to that conclusion. Now, he even admitted that he wished he didn't handle it the way that he did, which I think takes balls to admit when you're wrong. And I think that there's not enough people willing to do that nowadays. But again, maybe that's one of the good things about being older is that, you still have some of them old school qualities that people like. Yeah, I know, Dinky, and I didn't see all this stuff that he said, but I'm just judging off of what I'm hearing on this stream, and I'm sure there's probably going to be things that I'm going to be seeing that are going to show like some of the stuff that he said. And again, I'm not saying that what he did was right. I'm not, obviously that was not the time, that was not the place for him to air out that opinion. But at the same time, it's not like it's not too hard of a puzzle to piece together to figure out how he came to that conclusion. And that's all I'm trying to say. I go into these. One thing you guys will learn about me if you watch me longer is that I am like, I can't not be fair. Like I have to be, because it's just, I don't know, it's just something that is inside of me that just, I don't know. I just cannot fucking bite my tongue. I say what I feel, and I always try to look at both sides. I can't, even modern Paul. It's like if I was an alcoholic, I'd be like, yeah, let me get some fucking drinks. You know what I'm saying? Feed my cat, people. Give me that money. I've entertained you for years.
Send me them donations.
I've given back millions of money to people who've been scammed. I deserve a Jack Daniels tonight to go with my bucket hat.
Yeah. To go, oh my God, that hat, my God.
That's the worst hat ever. I'm going to buy one now.
That was the craziest hat. And I just wanted to say, we have Scambait Nonsense in the chat. He is probably one of the biggest gays that I know.
Congratulations.
But yeah, I just wanted to give Scambait Nonsense a shout out for being one of the biggest gays.
Hey,
And
some people are born that way. They can't help it.
no, he's not really a gay, but
I know. I'm playing along with a bit, man.
Yeah, Mr. Pricky loves the bones of him, and I know if them two ever got together, there would be some chloroform involved. On Mr. Yeah.
It's like the old joke. You want to go camp? If you woke up, if you went on a camping trip and you woke up with a condom in your butt, would you tell anybody? And then they're like, I don't know, no. And then they go, well, you want to go?
I seen that movie. What was that?
I don't know. I always have people that tell me that joke though. They're like, if you went.
Yeah, there was a movie. If you woke up with a condom in your butt, would you say something? I can't remember what Hot Tub Time Machine or some.
Yeah, it could be
like that. But
sounds about right. Hot Tub Time Machine.
But I want to say a massive, honest to God, Pecan. You gave Pecan the last opportunity to voice live on your channel, and I know after that, speaking with Pecan, how much he really, really appreciated you. Also with Limey, I know Limey came on last week. Sorry, was it last week or the week before? That was awesome. And then me coming on, having me on, giving me a voice, also bringing Eddie on. Because I think I did need to hear that from Eddie because, as I say, he just blocked me. He blocked me, he blocked Dinky, he blocked Limey. Not for the fact that he was washing his hands, because of the fact that they were saying, yo, fun guy was doing this, doing that, doing this. But why do you think this? And I think he knew he was wrong and he didn't want to reply to that. And that's why he blocked them.
Yeah,
and that's why they in chat, you see them saying, well, he's a coward because he he read their messages and then he just blocked them.
Well, sometimes people do stuff in like he could have been more of, like I've impulsively blocked people in my past. Not when I was younger. And some people are impulsive, and then when they get some time to think about, some things, you never know if he would have ever changed his tune and reached out to you again and tried to done this on his own. But I mean, it seemed like he wanted to. It seemed like he did realize that what he did was wrong, and it seemed like he was trying to have a private conversation with you, which I understand if you don't want to have one with him. But I just want to at least float it out there that he did acknowledge that he was wrong, and you have to respect that.
Yeah.
So.
And I do respect that. Honest to God, I've never blocked anyone. I've never blocked anyone. I haven't kicked anyone out of my server for any reason. And as I say, that's why my name is Fun Guy. I sit in the middle of the fence.
Yeah.
I sit in the middle of the fence. I don't take his side, or anybody's side. I will listen to everybody. The damage was done by comparing me with Mother Paul, and it's ridiculous. And then poor Dinky and poor Limey and these are the people that have tried helping me, because I've sent them these messages going, look, this is why I didn't want to fucking do this. I didn't want to do this for the fact of this message that I've received.
Yeah.
And Eddie was the only one that's literally sent me a message, and then on his own channel, on his own Twitch channel, which I watched yesterday. It's only 24 minutes long, but it talks about other people. I guess he's referring to Trilogy. He refers to me. I can't remember who else who he referred to, but like kind of saying when Fun Guy puts out in big letters, you do not have to donate. It's kind of like a whisper saying, run and get your debit card now. It was like, come on, bro. You know me. You should know me better than that.
Yeah.
All these years I've been doing this, I've never asked anybody. I never even put on my premieres. There's like and it was actually Pecan. So again, thank you to Pecan above. That showed me how to use like green screen things in the editing software. I never put in there like it'd be like a little text that would come up, like and subscribe. Pecan showed me. He went digging, and as he always did, he digged for things. And he came across this channel that did green screen backgrounds with texts on, and we would put them in the program that we use to edit, and you can take this green screen away. So all the latest premieres you see of mine, towards maybe the last minute or minute and a half, it will come up with a text that says like and subscribe. I don't physically say it. It just comes up as a text.
Listen, you don't gotta apologize for telling people to like and subscribe, bro. We all know what we're doing here on YouTube. I've had people try to shame me for, there was a situation that happened with me, and it like Soul was like on this roll of just donating. And I remember I said in one stream, I was like, is anybody gonna help Soul, or is she gonna do this all herself? And some girl who was a friend of mine at the time lost her shit in the chat and just started calling me like a grifter and someone who's desperate to get paid, and all because of one backhanded compliment when I was like, damn, is Soul gonna do this on her own? I got kids to feed, and it was a throwaway joke. Everybody in the chat was like, what the fuck is going on with this bitch? And ever since then, she's been like, she hates my guts. So, all because she had the same attitude that Eddie had. And then that's that she doesn't ever want to take. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine for you. That's not we don't do it for the money, even though there's probably
Yeah.
plenty of people who do. Honestly, if I did this for money alone, I'd be putting out the sloppiest fucking slop shit you've ever seen in your whole life. I'd put out a video every single day. It doesn't matter what I talk about. I'd come on there, I'd lie. I would make sure that whatever I was saying was the most obscene stuff you ever heard, because that's what gets clicks. But that's not what I do. I come on here and like I do this because I enjoy the art of it. Like you said, you like making really nice, clean edits and stuff, and
Yeah.
and it really sucks too, because had Pecan like had a chance to really like get good at editing or something, his videos would have been so tight. But it was killing me listening. It was killing me listening to him have like 6-7 seconds of just dead air, and I'm like, ah, come on, dude.
Yeah, if you go and watch the earlier videos, like the scambait videos, he has like images. One of my mods, an amazing mod, Razentaz, she created a lot of images for him, and yeah, a lot of it is me is back out. There's a whole range of scambaiters, or even just friends in these videos. They jump in Discord, they make calls, he records them, and he puts them out as videos, and okay, it was Pecan. That was Pecan. But I think this with Ray, I think he just wanted to show as much of it as he could. But yeah, them silences, he was like, I think it might have been my fault, because he'd send me a clip, and I'd be like, bro, you need to do this, you need to do that. So he'd go back and redo something. And then maybe he forgot to put something in and whatever else, but he was he tried, he done everything he could. It's like this like, I know Limey knows this, and I think Limey said it on your show. And this is what I'm saying about me. I don't care. I YouTube and Twitch supports me. I don't ask for anything else. I don't need anything else. Limey came on last time, and he mentioned a guy called VP Gloves.
One sec.
And Limey, yeah, go ahead.
Customer support super chatted $1.99.
Oh, yeah, customer
Fungi,
support.
you still late, chav? Pinching
She always
hand
says a
emoji,
small
winking
wiener.
face emoji.
Do you?
Yeah,
what's the
that's what that-
what's the verdict there?
It's about 4 inches. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm listen.
could be worse.
I'm only like 5 foot. I'm only like 5'6". Sorry, yeah, 5'6". I'm a small guy, so my wiener's not going to be that big.
You got a leprechaun
well,
cock. It's cool.
Leprechaun cock. Yeah. So there's something that Sol, I know Sol wants to know.
Oh,
The story behind the no pants. Why
Y'all
I
think
don't
I'm-
wear pants?
y'all think I'm joking too with the no pants today? I'm like chilling here, bro. If this camera was face down, I'd be charging extra for this stream. It'd be members only.
Yeah, hot tub stream. Yeah, but so I was doing a bait probably last year or the year before. Oh well, it's not stand. You need to stand up and show them. But I was doing like a bait last year, or I can't remember how long ago it was, but there was a section in that bait where the scammers always say to you, are you dressed? Now it could be 2 p.m. So I always base my characters on Houston time, so that's central time zone, and so I can start at my 6 p.m. and that's like 12 p.m. Sorry, yeah, just noon central. Or if I start at my 4, that's 10 a.m. And I think these scammers must always think that nobody is dressed at all. It could be 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Central Time, and they're like, "Are you dressed? Like, can you go and get yourself dressed?" I'm like, "Bro, it's like freaking 1 in the afternoon. You think I'm sitting here naked? Of course I'm dressed. Well, you need to go down the bank. And one of my amazing followers, Date the Flu, DTF, he was actually watching the stream with his son. And for some reason in this particular bait, the guy was like, okay, you need to go. Are you going down to the bank? And I just shouted, I'm not wearing any pants. And his son was in the room and turned round to him and said, Dad, what did he say? What did he just say? And he went, oh, he's not wearing any pants. And he said, Date the Flu actually messaged me after that. And he said his son was like in hysterics. And then his son started walking around the house going, I'm not wearing any pants. I'm not wearing any pants. So it kind of stuck with me. So I always say I'm not wearing any pants. And that kind of came one of my gimmicks, that I'm not wearing any pants. Date the Cambodian, yeah. Well, that's the story. And I know Kebe said she forgot it, but she's a liar.
Yeah, you got an awesome community. I've loved the people who've come over from you and Limey and obviously Pecan. You guys are all very cool, and especially since I'm not a scam baiter, I'm just some dude who just talks shit on the internet. So I love that everybody's like, you know, coming back and having a good time, and I will always try to. You know, I can't promise you it'll always be the most entertaining or the most organized stream, although I am working on that. But I can always promise you that I'm going to give it my A game. Now, I have a question for you, though, for you and Limey, okay?
Yep.
You guys have walked me through this whole Mater Paul thing. So I want to do a stream where I walk you through a drama that involved my friend Nerd City, who's like almost got 1 million subscribers, but I want to walk you guys through that so that the audience can, because I know that most of you guys don't know a lot of the story behind that. So I figured it'd be fun to share with you guys a story that comes from my community that I care a lot about. Would you guys be open to that?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right, bet. Limey, are you still in the chat? Would you be down for that? I'll walk you both through it. But yeah, man, it was really fun talking to you. Do you got like anything else you want to particularly add? I know that we all came together because of Pecan. Once I'm done with this Nerd City stuff, I'm gonna put together a little video talking about him, talking about Mater Paul, just kind of highlighting some of the stuff from the streams that we talked about, some of the stuff. It's gonna be clips of Pecan, clips of you, clips of you are Fungi, clips of Limey, and just a short little, maybe half-hour little documentary of all the shit that's going on with him, and then hopefully I get to just move on from him because he's small potatoes compared to what I'm dealing with. Like, like I told you, like my boy, I've been trying to work on this Nerd City stuff, and he's like he was like a hero of mine because I watched him well before he was like my pierogi, you know what I mean? And oddly enough, though, I ended up working with pierogi before I ever worked with Nerd City, but so it's it's something that's important to me. It's something near and dear to me, and I feel like it would be a good way to just maybe help Nerd get some new people, get some new eyes on him, and two to share with you guys a story of somebody who I think has also been wronged. But the video
I did see someone in chat earlier on saying that Pierogi actually give you a shout out on a stream. Either today or yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday I was hanging out in there. He's always very gracious. He was he was probably my first friend on YouTube, believe it or not, because of all the shit that was going on with him. And I was the person. I was like a nobody, and I put out a video pretty much calling out Savannah, and I was the one who pretty much helped get that narrative like stopped before it got out of hand, and then it got picked up by a lot of my friends now in commentary. But like I felt very proud of that because I've always said that what he does is very important because of the magnitude in which he does it. And then now I just get to work with a lot of other cool scam baiters like you and Limey and Pecan. So I've always kind of had like this weird relationship with you scam baiters. Even though I'm not a scam baiter myself, it's kind of fun. I get to be like the designated place for when drama in the scam baiting community happens. If you come to see if I'm talking about it and you know what's going on, which I think is a good thing to have because it's important to keep your, you know, it's your community. It's, you know, if there's bad actors in there. Now I'm not saying that Maher Paul is always a bad actor, but he seems to be heading down a path that's going to not look great on everybody. But we have that in commentary 24/7 because we're giving our opinions. And there's a lot of people who just have really, really shitty opinions on things. So we're always doing that over here. But for you guys, it's a rarity. But when it does happen, I'm happy to help give you guys a place where you guys can come and talk about it. And, you know, I don't know if I'll ever have Kip Boga on here, but I am going to see. Pierogi walked away from Discord, which I don't blame him for because it was more trouble than it was worth. But that was how I was able to ever get a hold of him. And now I can't get a hold of him. So that was basically him just saying hi to me because I haven't seen him in months. Because I've been doing my own thing, too. But I wanted to try to get an interview with him. And at one point, he was gonna. And now he's not on Discord anymore. So I don't know if I'll get one. But it was close. It was so close. And now he's like on Kai Cenat's stream and shit. And I'm like, damn, dude, that would have been a sweet interview. So, Pierogi, if you ever watch this, bro, you know, hit me up, bro.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Dinky. All my mods, Dinky, Care Bear, Limey, nobody knows what they do so much. They do. Dinky and Limey behind the scenes, Care Bear with the diapers and the spitballs. Chester Draws, man. Chester has been with me from the very beginning, from when my marriage was literally on the rocks, and he helped me through a hell of a lot, and a massive thank you to every single one of you who support me, who support my channel, who support the Discord and support EG. Not just my mods, but all the mods out there, all the scam baiters and all the creators. Much love to every single one of you. And thank you all for your support.
Hell yeah. And if you guys, as much as I appreciate it, if you guys subscribe to EG Lately, Later with Lately is the channel where this stuff goes. So give that channel love because that's only at 169 subscribers. EG is going to be fine because I got interviews. I got my second half of interview at Nerd City coming, which I'm not saying don't subscribe to EG. I'm just saying if you have to pick one, go to Later with Lately. That's where I need the most love. And if you guys feel like it, you know, obviously no pressure. And I'm laughing because the Jester Trolls guys just said, can he come on because he doesn't understand scouts or something?
Well, you wouldn't be able to understand him because he's a cockney little shit. But but yeah, thank you so much, EG. I know it's late for Dinky, it's late for me.
Yeah, man, it's got to be fucking late as shit where you guys are.
Yeah, 3:30 for me, and it's even well later for Dinky.
Damn. Thank you, Dinky.
And
even though you were getting riled up in the chat earlier. It's like, please stop. I was like, please stop calling him names. Like, we're having productive conversation here. We're not trying to scare him off.
She's a very, very passionate woman. She's very protective, very passionate. Her heart is in the right place. And she's always been my number one supporter. I will never say that I prefer any of my mods over. All my mods are all the same. I know Dinky does a hell of a lot more because she's always in my eyes and ears. When I'm on stream, and I have to mute like certain information, like phone numbers, email addresses, bank account information, Dinky sees everything because Dinky's in the stream with me and I screen share. So Dinky sees everything. So I could have 4 baits on the go in one day. And I could forget who my first bait was, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, what was that guy's name?" Dinky comes in and goes, "Oh, it was Alex Wilson. His phone number was this. This was his email." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, thank you, Dink."
You're lucky. I
But
don't.
Dinky,
I don't get that. I get EG squirrel because I'm very ADHD. They start emojiing and making fun of me, especially Sarah.
Yeah, well,
Sarah and Carla.
yeah, I know. I normally just send Limey some like blow me gifts or something like that.
Well, they're all girls. I don't know I don't know how they'd feel about.
No. Yeah. Well, customer support, yeah, I do send blow me gifts to customer support, and she sends like small dick pic, small things to me, but not dick pics. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
oh, well, now we know
all
why
my
she
mods-
likes you so much.
Yeah, no, all my mods are amazing. Customer support, really great supporter of me, back alley, and take a glass of water to go media. The over the last 4 years, I've met so many amazing people, and it just shows over the last 4 weeks who your true friends are. Special massive shout out to Sol as well.
Thank you, Chester.
She's DM'd me, and I really do appreciate her support as well.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support. Like that old saying of rising tide raises all ships. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's great doing these collabs with other creators, you know, even if they're in different niches, because it's my regulars are getting a chance to see you guys, and your guys regulars are getting a chance to see me. It works out well. This is why so many YouTubers collab with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's a shame there isn't more collabs because there's so many different scams that are going on. I like to cover the refund scam or tech support scams, and there isn't a lot of scam baiters that cover them. I know there's Kuki who covers a whole range, like from pet scams to different things, but there is quite a few that cover Mega Millions or PCH scams, Publishers Clearinghouse, and they're good because they do the same baits, and they kind of talk to the same scammers, Nigerian scammers. They do a lot of collabs. They bring each other in and whatever else. I never get involved. I never get invited to anything apart from this. This is the first thing I've ever been invited to. But if there's anyone out there that also covers tech support scams or anything like that want to do a collab with me, it'd be great.
yeah.
But
Well, you guys heard it. I mean, I was planning on doing like a scam baiting thing with Pecan Head before he passed away. So I was pretty sad that never came to happen. Maybe we can put something together in the future where I can have some fun with some scammers.
oh, definitely, yeah. I could set up a scam bait as my old lady Annie. I could bring you in as my son or something. But
Yeah,
if you have time, go and watch. I don't maybe 3 hours into the live stream today, and you can see how Annie is. We were talking about shaving the nether regions and 69ers, and this lady, this Annie is she's 74, nearly 75 years old, and she gets kind of kinky with them.
Damn.
And when he was like, "Let me see you in your underwear on camera," and then unfortunately he goes and sees a little fat guy, like, "Fuck you." After like almost 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours of baiting this asshole.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That seems like fun to me. That does seem like a good time.
Oh,
I could see why you
yeah.
guys enjoy doing it. You know.
Yeah. Not every day is the same. Not every day can be the same. I try to some days be funny, sometimes I try to be serious, and I do try to play the victim. I play the victim from start to finish, and I either return the money, or if they say that they messed up, if they messed up the refund form, oh well, that's your problem. I don't care if you lose your job. I'm keeping the money, and that's when they threaten you with the goat house and behind the bars and all this shit. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched a lot of Kip Boga back in my day, and Pierogi. They both have completely different styles, which I like too. Like they're not.
yeah. Every scam beta is different. Like there's on a Sunday, there's Skeleton Siski, who is really great. Scambait Nonsense, massive shout out to him. I love Stanley. If I want to see more of Stanley. Dr. Fell, another great one. And we all have our own style.
Yeah, I like that. I always felt like I'd probably be more of like a Kip Boga type because I just like I grew up being an actor, and I would have so much fun just taking on these roles of people and acting like, I would just really just confuse the ever-living shit out of them, especially with my ADHD. I'd just let that shit go on autopilot and start bringing up whatever popped into my head at the time.
Yeah.
But anything you want to add? Any last things you want to add, Fun Guy?
No, just a massive shout out to EG. If you're not following EG already, just please give him a follow, and a massive shout out. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Make sure everybody go check out Fun Guy Media too.
Would you look at that? Someone's guilty
Stop
of being
breaking your
total
shit.
badass.
I know they wait till I
Chick
talk and then
Clubs
they super chat.
Chester Draws subscribed to
Oh, there you
EJ.
go. He's subscribe. I like it. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, Later or Lately is the one that needs love, though. This is where these go. So if you want to see Fun Guy in the future, you're going to be able to see him on Later or Lately. It's just because that's where the VODs go. The EG Lately is where I put like my very edited documentaries and investigative stuff and things of that nature. So, but Later or Lately will do fine one day. Being a streamer is a much more slower climb than doing edited videos because I don't know. I guess it's a much more time investment on behalf of the audience to watch like a 3-hour stream as opposed to a 30-minute edited breakdown video. But this is for
Thank you, Dinky.
just a way to organize my content, I guess. And now I'm coming out with a clips channel, so that'll be fun. And it'll just be clips from these streams so that people can watch the streams while also not having to invest hours of their time. So that'll be fun. Well, anyway, thank you, Fun Guy, and
You're welcome, sir.
the pleasure was mine, sir. Pleasure was mine. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you for giving everyone a platform, and much respect to you, my friend.
Much respect to you too, sir.
No. Take care, everyone. Much love. Take care, bro.
Take care. All right, that was Fun Guy Media, guys. Fun Guy Media, good dude. And I really like that that conversation that we had with the conversation that Eddie and him had. It didn't get out of control. It wasn't like blood sporty. It was just two guys trying to work out differences, and then we weren't able to come to a conclusion that was happy. But you know what? I think that they understand each other a lot better now, and I think that in itself is a win. So, with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. That's where we're gonna end the stream tonight. I don't really know what else to say. Oh, if you guys want to join my Discord too, maybe Soul will be kind enough to put the link in the description. She's my dinky. I gotta come up with a name. She's my Slinky. Yeah, Soul's my Slinky. You keep people calm. I don't think they hated each other. I think they were disappointed, and both mutually disappointed in one another. But I think that Fun Guy had kind of the better. I think the Fun Guy had the better argument because obviously he had every right to want to go see Mrs. P. And, you know, while I could see where Eddie was coming from, he inevitably realized that he probably didn't behave in the best way. But he owned up to it, and I think that's important to acknowledge. When people own up to their mistakes, it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Yeah, Slinky. Because Slinky, you're my soul. Get it? Soul and Dinky is Slinky. It's Slinky. Everyone loves a Slinky. Come on, it's perfect for you, Soul. It's perfect. All right, guys. I was gonna do. I'm not gonna do a song tonight because I'm pretty sure that my daughter's probably sleeping next door, so I don't want to wake her up. But anyway, I will see you guys. I don't know when I'll see you, but it'll be soon. Okay, that's all you need to know. If I'm gonna stream this weekend, now that I'm a single guy, I will let y'all know. With that said, much love to you all. Thank you all for the donations. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to Fun Guy Media. Thank you to Limey. Thank you to Eddie.